Tonight's broadcast is made possible by Strack & Van Til, your favorite Indiana-made grocery store. Ironworkers Local 395, proud to be union. Four Seasons Mechanical, quality and comfort is our guarantee. Boilermakers Local 374, earn while you learn. Pulse Technology, leading the way in technological innovation for over 70 years. Visit Michigan City LaPorte, closer than you think, better than you imagine. IBEW Local 697, proud to support high school sports. Bricklayers Local 4, the best hands in the business. Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and cozy in the winter. Blythe's Team Sports, where the athlete shops. And Hampton Inn, downtown Indianapolis. This is the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Wilson, the official game ball of the IHSAA.
Welcome to Game Day in the region on the Region Sports
Indiana Pacers and Indiana Fever, proud to support Indiana's game at all levels.
Streaming live on Facebook
The Indianapolis Colts.
And the RSN
Forte Sports Medicine, the official sports medicine provider for all state championship events. Ivy Tech Community College. Reach your goal at Ivy Tech.
I'm Leo Stauder, and I'll be
Sharp Business Systems, saluting great athletes and even better students. Sport Graphics, turning our creativity and experience into your results.
From beginning to end.
Indiana Donor Network, saving lives through organ and tissue donation.
It's the Patriots.
Dick's Sporting Goods, every season starts at Dick's. Herb Jones, the official championship ring provider for the IHSAA.
In their third state championship.
Indiana Careers in Construction Association, built to succeed.
State title game. Terre Haute North.
Old National Bank, the official banking partner of the IHSAA.
They have scored 400.
The American Dairy Association of Indiana. Winners drink milk.
They have won their last 20.
EventLink, the official digital ticketing partner of the IHSAA.
30-2 on the season, 13-1 in the
Lyuna, Indiana's Laborers District Council and local union.
337 runs for.
And Double X Media, proud photographer of the IHSAA.
5 games. And their path to a state championship game, they have had a gauntlet of a path to make it to this point so far, facing Munster, a team ranked 15th in the 4A Coaches Bowl. That was in the sectional round. In the sectional championship, they faced Crown Point, the number 2 ranked team in that Coaches Poll. And then in the semi-state round, they faced Penn, the 3rd ranked team in the Coaches Poll. The Indians, deservedly so, ranked 1st in the Coaches Poll, trying to make sure they can complete their path through the state tournament with a championship victory. It would be, they were state runners-up in 2021, as well as runners-up in 2003, 15, and 18. They were state champs in 1992, 2002, and 2004. Yvette Tovar and company trying to pick up a state championship after a 22-year drought. So let's get ready to meet the key players from each team as we will take a look at the batting lineups. Batting lineups are brought to you by Great Lakes Sports Hub, More Than a Dome. First, for the Terre Haute North Patriots, led by head coach Chris Mundy in his 7th year with the program. They are 110 and 68 under his watch. That loud cheer you hear is because his team is circling things up at the circle, finishing up their warm-ups. Their lineup will be as follows. Camry Sparks leads off and plays right field. Maddie Strange will be playing center field, batting second. Kenzie Ziegler plays short, bats third. Jaylee Lindley will be batting cleanup. She's the starting pitcher. Kylie Walker bats fifth, plays third. Marsha Parker bats sixth, plays catcher. Morgan Hogart will be the first baseman. She bats seventh. Kiana Gardner plays second, bats eighth. And Gabby Racy rounds out the 1 through 9, playing left field. The Lake Central lineup from head coach Yvette Tovar in her 3rd year with the program. She is 89 and 8 with the Lake Central as the Lake Central head coach. Her lineup reads like this. Michaela Van Vossen leads off, plays second base. Maddie Wainwright will be behind the plate. She bats second. Lexi Iwema plays short, bats third. Tegan Tripp bats cleanup. She will be playing third base. Maddie Such will be in the circle as the pitcher. She bats fifth in the lineup. Sophia Beals plays first, bats sixth. Emma Wilkins plays right, bats seventh. Caitlin Streiler is the DP. She will bat eighth. Piper Urbanski rounds out the 1 through 9, patrolling center field defensively. Callie Ramirez will be the flex. She plays left field. Those are the batting lineups. Now we will meet the starting pitchers. It's time to introduce the starting pitchers for today's game. That means we'll turn to the Enigenberg Exteriors Home Improvement Hurlers for today, presented by Enigenberg Exteriors. The Lake Central Indians, they will be the home team on the scoreboard. Pitching first, their starter will be the junior right-hander Maddie Such. She has a record of 16-1 on the year, a .87 earned run average over 19 appearances. She's thrown 96 1/3 innings in the circle with 47 hits scattered throughout those 96 innings. Just 16 runs allowed, 12 of those were earned. She has walked 18 batters while striking out 160. Her counterpart in the circle for Terre Haute North will be Jaylee Lindley. She is 19-0 on the season in 22 appearances. She's thrown 120 and 2/3 innings pitched with a 128 earned run average. She's allowed 31 runs, 22 of which were earned, walking 47 batters and striking out 156. Those are your Enigenberg Exteriors Home Improvement Hurlers for tonight's game. Enigenberg Exteriors, your all-in-one roofing specialist. Visit ebergexteriors.com for a quote. As the head coaches meet at home plate to discuss the ground rules and exchange lineup cards, we'll take a look at the forecast. The Friday night forecast is brought to you by our friends at Economy Electric Heating and Cooling. Tonight's forecast is 75 degrees. It is still sunny here with a couple of clouds deep in the horizon, but a light blue sky above us. The wind that was blowing out to center field during the 3A state title game has reached its conclusion. There is relatively no wind to speak of. It's a picture-perfect early evening for softball. Sunset is scheduled for the 9 o'clock hour in just a little bit, so the lights are starting to take effect as there are a lot of shadows across most of the left center portion of the ballpark, so those lights will help illuminate the diamond and make things a little easier for the fielders. That is the game night forecast, the Friday night forecast, brought to you by Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and cozy in the winter. We'll step aside. On the other side, we will continue to get you ready for first pitch between the Indians and the Patriots, so stick around. That's coming up next. You are listening to coverage of the 2026 Class 4A Softball State Championship presented by Enigenberg Exteriors on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
With 40 years of experience serving Indiana, Illinois, and Tennessee, Enigenberg Exteriors has only had one goal in mind: to achieve excellent customer service. From commercial and residential roofing to siding, window, and door replacement, Enigenberg Exteriors delivers 110% customer satisfaction from the first hello to the final walkthrough. Visit enigenberg.com for more information or give them a call at 219-365-2837. Enigenberg Exteriors, restoring hope one project at a time.
Get Pulse Technology on your team. Hit a home run with our managed print and copier services, IT and technology solutions, office furniture and design services, office supplies, scoreboards, and AV solutions.
Strack and Van Til for the win with 4 ways to save. Catch price drops on over 15,000 items and check the weekly ad for can't miss deals. Stack on the rewards program for digital coupons, points toward discounts and free products, and power up with our own brands. Keep your budget in the safety zone. Get the same great taste as national labels at lower prices. If you can't taste the difference, why pay the difference? Score big value with 4 ways to save at Strack and Van Til.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
You're following RSN Game Day coverage of the 2026 Class 4A Softball State Championship game presented by Enigenberg Exteriors, a premier provider of roofing and siding services with over 40 years of experience. Check them out on the web at ebergexteriors.com as the pregame show rolls on here at Bittinger Stadium, the home of the Purdue Boilermakers. We get ready for the announcement of the starting lineups on the field. I ran through those lineups with you already here in the booth, but the pregame festivities concluding as what a good night it is for softball, a state championship atmosphere. The Lake Central Indians, here's how their uniforms will look as they are on the field, getting ready to take the field. They are in their royal blue uniforms, royal blue jerseys and pants with white pinstripes, cursive script across the front with white numbers on front and back. White socks complete the outfits, while the Terre Haute North Patriots, they will be wearing navy blue uniforms with red shoulders, some white piping along the front of the jerseys as well, white text on front and back in a bold font with white numbers outlined in red. On the backs, navy pants with a red stripe down the side, and then red socks complete their uniforms as the Terre Haute North Patriots. What a season they've been having. A program record for wins in a season, a 26-game win streak, certainly a historic year. They're looking to see if they can continue with some more history. Their last loss was April 11th against Robinson, an 11-3 game. But after that, they have been rolling through their schedule. Wins over Avon, Mater Dei, some big programs throughout there. They beat Center Grove in the semi-state title game 6-2, as we'll see a couple of the educators, teachers from each side being recognized pregame. So that is one of the last festivities. But for Lake Central, they've had another dominant regular season after falling in the sectional championship last year in a nail-biter against Crown Point. They've put together a Duneland Conference championship, 13-1 in conference play, another 30-win season. Those two losses came in the same week, the last week of the regular season. They were undefeated through most of the regular season, but then in their last two games fell to Marist High School, a team that won a third-place trophy in Illinois, and then maybe an uncharacteristic loss 9-2 to Valparaiso. Those two losses, hearing the players in our media day coverage, talking to Mike DeWan, and then some of the articles in the newspapers around town talking about the Marist loss was one you felt like you learned a lot from. That, not to call it a good loss, but was one where you faced a good program, lost to them in extra innings. The Valparaiso loss, the word the players kept echoing was that it humbled them, and it showed that anyone can beat them, maybe took off some of that pressure of trying to play perfect, and it just shows that you have to take every game with the mentality that this team could beat you. So they really took a lot from those two losses and have won their next 5 games following those in the state tournament. And that's when it matters to win games. You could win your first 30 games, but if you lose then in the state tournament, it doesn't matter what your regular season win streak was. All that matters is what you do when the games are elimination games every day. And that's what Lake Central has been doing here. What Yvette Tovar talked about is living one pitch at a time. That's the mentality they take. And then another point of emphasis was playing loose. That seems to be the case when you watch this Lake Central team, a team that really looks like they are having fun playing softball, even in close games. To not really let the moment overwhelm you, and to remember you're still just playing the game, and to have fun while doing it. As the teachers are giving a standing ovation pregame, good to see the stadium, once again, is full here at Bittinger Stadium. The left side from our vantage point in the press box, on the third base side, all Lake Central fans wearing their royal blue. And on the right side, the first base side, is the Terre Haute North fans wearing mostly navy blue, some red as well, and then plenty of fans brought their lawn chairs, their blankets from home, are lining up in the hill out on the right field side, out past center field, in the grassy hill area, as now we will have the introduction of the players from each side. So we will turn it down to the PA announcer for the introduction of the Terre Haute North Patriots.
Number 5, Hayden Conder. Number 7, Greta Shorter. Number 9, Abby Hayden. Number 13, Leah Oplovich. Number 15, Amelia Kelly. Number 23, Aniston Chester. And number 36, Nora Burnett. Here's the starting lineup for the Patriots. Leading off in right field, number 8, Cambry Sparks. Batting second in center field, number 3, Maddie Stray. Batting third in shortstop, number 14, Kenzie Ziegler. Batting fourth, the starting pitcher, number 31, Shaylee Ludley. Batting fifth and third base, number 6, Kylie Walker. Batting sixth, the catcher, number 00, Marcia Parker. Batting seventh at first base, number 12, Morgan Haga. Batting eighth at second base, number 22, Kiana Gardner. And batting ninth in left field, number 4, Gabby Racy. Terre Haute North is coached by Chris Mundy in his 7th season. He's assisted by Casey Potts, Tony McCarter, Chad Kirshner, and Doug Cooper. And now, ladies and gentlemen, direct your attention to the third baseline. Let's meet the Lake Central Indians. First, the reserves. Number 11, Colby Trestle. Number 15, McKenna Fazio. Number 16, Kenzie Johnson. Number 18, Ava Mudge. Number 25, Sophia Zambala. Number 27, Addie Michelinas. Number 30, Jana Lewis. And number 31, Ava DeNormdy. And now, here's the starting lineup for the Indians. Leading off, in second base, number 17, Michaela Van Vossen. Batting second, the catcher, number 24, Maddie Wainwright. Batting third, at shortstop, number 14, Lexi Iwema. Batting fourth, at third base, number 10, Tegan Tripp. Batting fifth, the starting pitcher, number 13, Maddie Sun. Batting sixth, at first base, number 29, Sophia Beal. Batting seventh in right field, number 26, Emma Wilker. Batting eighth, the designated player, number 28, Caitlin Stryler. Batting ninth in center field, number 12, Piper Urbensky. And the flex player in left field, number 21, Callie Ramirez. Lake Central is coached by Yvette Tovar in her third season. She's assisted by Mike Wilkins, Selena Mitchko, Caitlin Barajas, Haley Beagle, and Ashley Costello. Good luck to both teams.
So there were the starters helping you set the stage for the 4A state championship game. And this for the Lake Central Indians. It's been pretty much their regular starting group. Good to see Caitlin Streiler back in the lineup. She was one of their regular starters before an injury earlier in the year brought her out of the lineup, but now back in the state championship game. That's even with reading the quotes from Yvette Tovar and hearing from her on her media day with Mike DeWan's coverage was it. Not to use the term good problem to have, but a fun puzzle to solve with so many talented players, so many Division I recruits, trying to find a way to get everybody in the lineup at the right spot where it takes that mentality. Some players might think, I've always been this position my entire career or in travel ball, but to get that buy-in to say, all right, I have to play here to help my team win, that's certainly been the group mentality for Lake Central. So many players have played different positions this year, and now it's kind of at that point where you can just write out the lineup card because you found the right combination and are ready to try to keep things rolling in a state title game as Maddie Such goes through her final warm-up pitches pregame with her catcher, Maddie Wainwright. Those two have been the main battery this season for the Indians as Wainwright throws down to second. We're just about ready to play ball here in West Lafayette as the leadoff hitter, Cambry Sparks, heads into the left-handed batter's box. Cambry Sparks bats left-handed. She will be the right fielder today for the Patriots. She's a freshman looking to start a state championship game. What a experience that must be. So Sparks is in the batter's box. Such is at the circle. She looks to Wainwright for the sign, winds, and fires. At 8:36, she sends a strike on the fastball, and we are underway. The first pitch of the state championship game is a strike. 0-1 the count to Sparks. She bats .380 on the air, and then a fastball from Such sails over the catcher all the way to the backstop for a ball. The count is 1-1. But for Such, she threw a great game against Munster in the sectional round to really start the playoff run for the Indians. Her 1-1 delivery is high for a ball, and that was talking about a tough draw to open the state tournament. I think that really helped prepare Lake Central for what was to come. Such had 10 strikeouts and a 2-1 nail-biter, led by a 2 RBI single from Tegan Tripp to get the win over the Mustangs a couple weeks ago, as the 2-1 pitch is a foul ball high towards the concourse to make it a 2-2 count. And then a close one, another close one in the sectional championship, 3-1 against Crown Point. Lake Central has just been rolling against some tough opponents. The 2-2 pitch, driven towards center field. Urbanski races in and makes the catch for out number one. A good swing by Sparks, sent it for a ride. It was a quick traveling fly ball to center field. Urbanski was able to make the catch about shoulder height. Urbanski is in center field. Ramirez and Wilkins are in left and right, respectively. Tripp and Beals are at the corner infield spots, and Iwema and Van Vossen up the middle. The pitch from Such is a rise ball, check swing from Strange. The appeal to first base determines she did go. After that Crown Point sectional championship, the Indians would beat the Brickies of Hobart 10-0 in regionals in 6 innings. The 0-1 is high for a ball, and then in the the Lafayette Harrison semi-state round, they beat Penn 5-0 in the opener in a game that spanned the entire weekend. The 1-1 pitch from Such is cracked foul along the first base line. They would beat Penn. Such had 2 RBIs and a double in that game. Maddie Wainwright had an RBI double. In a game that started Saturday, they were up 3-0, and then Mother Nature had to interfere. That game would then be postponed until Monday, where the 6th inning was made up. The 1-2 from Such dots the corner for strike 3. Strange is retired, caught looking there for out number 2. But in that unconventional semi-state opener, the Indians had to make their way back on Monday to complete that game against Penn, winning 5-0, and then would later that night defeat Fort Wayne Carroll 5-2. As the batter now is Kenzie Ziegler, the Patriots' shortstop. It's a fastball to start the count, but it's just high in that game against Carroll. Sophia Beals had a 2-run home run. Such had an RBI double. Lexi Iwema had a double, and Tegan Tripp crushed a 2-run home run. The 1-0 misses gets to the lower corner for strike one. It was a close one at the corner. It evens the count 1-1 to Ziegler, the shortstop. She bats .554 this season with 62 hits. She drives one through the middle of the infield, make it 63. It's a 2-out single. She is the first base runner for Terre Haute North. So Ziegler reaches base, and the batter will now be the starting pitcher, Jaylee Lindley. The umpires for tonight will be Daniel Escalante Jr. behind the plate, Sidney Bryce at first base, and Ralph Hughes at third. Such winds and fires to her counterpart, Lindley. She sends one foul to the backstop to open the count 0-1. 2 outs and a runner at first base. Lindley will look to try to keep things rolling, and then Escalante, the home plate umpire, calls down to somebody on the first baseline. I think there was maybe a foul ball that was still on the field, so that had to be picked up maybe from the bullpen. Anyway, the count is 0-1. The right-hander, Such, winds, goes to the plate. The 0-1 pitch off the end of the bat towards shortstop. Iwema calls for it and makes the catch. That will complete the top half of the first inning. The Patriots get a runner on but leave her stranded. We will head to the bottom of the first. You're following coverage of the Class 4A State Championship softball game presented by Enigenberg Exteriors on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
Welcome back as Enigenberg Exteriors presents coverage of the 2026 Class 4A Softball State Championship right here on the Region Sports Network. At Region Sports, we don't like downtime. Whether it's a championship drive or a game night print job, we trust Pulse Technology to keep the toner cartridge full and the process running smoothly. Pulse Technology, the heartbeat of the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. Van Vosten, Wainwright, and Iwema lead off the bottom of the first inning for Lake Central. Their counterpart, or their opponent on the mound, is Jaylee Lindley. Lindley will look to try to keep the Lake Central bats in check. This is a Lake Central team that is a very deep offensive group, can score in bunches, and they're at their best when they pick up one after the other. Situational hitting has been the story at times. It just seems like every game this season, somebody else has been the hero. It's Michaela Van Vossen to lead things off, the left-handed batting second baseman. Van Vossen is the program record holder for walks in a career. She has 25 free passes this season. She'll face the right-handed pitcher, Lindley. She's a recruit of Akron. Will be playing in the MAC next season. Van Vossen at the plate, a DePaul recruit. She fouls the first pitch to the backstop. Falls behind 0-1. Van Vossen bats .411 on the season, .547 on base percentage, slugging .756 with 37 hits, 8 doubles, 4 triples, 5 home runs, and 35 RBIs. Lindley winds, brings the 0-1 to the plate, speeds it low and away. Good eye from Van Vossen, doesn't go after it. Evens the count at a ball and a strike. The windup from Lindley. Van Vossen loops it towards left field. This one's sailing back to the wall, and it's out of here! Michaela Van Vossen with a solo home run gets the story started for Lake Central. Her teammates mob her at the plate. That's how you start a state championship game, with a solo blast to left field, her 6th of the season. What a swing from the left-handed batter going opposite field as Lake Central strikes first. Now with everybody back in the dugout, Maddie Wainwright can make her way to the right-handed batter's box. With a 1-1 count, Van Vossen introduces herself to this game with a big swing over the left field fence. And just like that, Lake Central is on the board, leading 1-0. Here's Maddie Wainwright, the junior catcher, bats right-handed. Lindley brings her motion towards the plate. The first pitch is high for a ball. Wainwright, an Indiana University recruit, she had one of the biggest swings of the season prior to this point with a solo home run in the 11th inning against Crown Point back in April in an extra inning thriller. This one is jabbed high in the air, foul but playable on the first base side, where Hogert will make the catch for out number 1. So a fly out in foul territory for Wainwright is the first out. Here's Lexi Iwema. Iwema, another IU recruit, steps into the left-handed batter's box. Iwema has played both center field and shortstop in her career at Lake Central. Part of what we were talking about a little bit earlier with these players willing to do whatever the team needs them to do. As the first pitch from Lindley is a strike. Iwema, with 17 home runs on the season, is the single season and career record holder for home runs in Lake Central program history. The 0-1 pitch. She curls one opposite field, drifting towards the corner, and this one just goes foul off the wall in left field. It hooked foul just a foot to left of the foul pole, and it barely stayed in the park. It is 210 feet to the left field power alley. This one was about 209 feet and 8 inches, landing at the upper part of the wall and just about a foot foul. So a big swing from Iwema makes it an 0-2 count. This next pitch, she hammers towards right field. This one curls foul and lands in the corner in right field. So a couple of big swings by Iwema, but both outside the lines. She'll look to see if she can straighten one out. She's got the distance here with those 2 foul balls, but just needs to put it in play. 0-2 is the count. Lindley looks to the armband for the sign from her catcher, Parker. Now goes to the plate. The 0-2 pitch is a rise ball. Iwema chases it for strike 3. And now there are 2 away. Nice velocity from Lindley. Iwema brought a big swing but couldn't line it up. That's the second out. And here's Tegan Tripp. Tripp has been one of the unsung heroes of the Lake Central postseason run. She had a 2 RBI single in the Crown Point game, that sectional championship win, and then a home run accounting for all 3 runs to beat the Bulldogs, who were at that point the defending Class 4A state champions. And the game prior against Munster, Tripp had a 2 RBI single. Again, the only offense in that game for the Indians. They would win that one 2-1. So it's safe to say they might not be this far without Tegan Tripp, as the count advances to 2-0 after a couple of takes by the right-handed hitting third baseman. Lake Central leads 1-0 after a solo blast from Michaela Van Vossen. The 2-0 pitch from Lindley. Tripp rolls it through the left side of the infield. It will carry into the gap in left field. She's going for 2. Tripp has a stand-up double with 2 outs on one that didn't really... It was on the the ground the whole way through, but it was screaming through between third and short. It went into the gap in left field, bounced off the wall, was eventually retrieved by the center fielder where she made the relay throw, but at that point Tripp had already scooted into second base. So she's in scoring position, and here's Maddie Such, the starting pitcher for Lake Central, looking to help add to the scoring here with a solo tally already. They would like to see if they can make it a crooked number, if they could bring Tripp around from second. Lindley, the right-handed pitcher, delivers to the right-handed batter. Such lifts it foul, playable to first base where Hogan makes the catch. That will end the inning, but Lake Central is on the board thanks to a solo blast from Michaela Van Vossen. They lead 1-0 after one. You're watching coverage of the 2026 Class 4A Softball State Championship presented by Enigenberg Exteriors and the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craftworkers for Indiana Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craftworkers for Indiana Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
At American Testing Services, based in Hobart, Indiana, we specialize in NDT drone inspections and heat treatment services for local mills, fab shops, and facilities across the country. From Northwest Indiana to nationwide, we deliver precision, safety, and reliability. American Testing Services, America's trusted name in NDT.
Welcome back as Enigenberg Exteriors presents coverage of the 2026 Class 4A Softball State Championship game right here on the Region Sports Network. Ordering groceries has never been easier with online shopping at Strachan Van Til. Save time and money, in-store sale prices, pickup or delivery, online coupons, rewards points, and more. Shop StrachanVanTil.com today. Getting ready to start the second inning as Lake Central leads by 1, and we will see how the Terre Haute North Patriots respond with Walker leading off. Walker, Parker, and then Huggett will bat here as it's a swing and a miss on the first pitch. So 0-1 the count. Such brings her delivery towards the plate. This one off the end of the bat, high and into the netting behind the backstop, makes it a 0-2 count. So 0-2 the count. Such a junior right-hander committed to play at Kentucky has really been the driving force for the pitching staff for Lake Central. Her windup and the 0-2 pitch just misses. Makes it a 1-2 count. But part of that pitching staff with Jada Lewis, a sophomore, and then the two freshmen, and Colby Tressel and Addie Michelanis, seems each of them has had their signature moment this season. The 1-2 pitch. Foul, high, and landing on top of the media level. And here the count stays 1-2, but Such had the big win against Munster. And then Tressel and Michelanis, the two freshmen, teamed up in the sectional championship, both keeping the Bulldogs to just one run in that one. The 1-2 pitch is over the plate for strike 3. Walker strikes out to end the inning, or to start the inning. Got a little ahead of myself there. That's the first out of the inning. And Marcia Parker will bat here. The catcher from Terre Haute North bats with one away, nobody on base. Such gets the sign from Wainwright, goes to the plate. Parker stays away from the first pitch. It was high for ball 1. The Patriots got a runner on base with 2 away in the first inning, but left her stranded. Now the 1-0 pitch. She swings through it for a strike, and then Lake Central wasted no time getting a home run from their leadoff batter to take a 1-0 lead. We'll see how they can try to preserve that lead now in the field defensively. The 1-1 pitch. Foul ball off the mask of Maddie Wainwright, the catcher. That makes it a 1-2 count. Wainwright will be given some time to regroup behind the plate. We saw that in the 3A state title game as the Hanover Central catcher took a foul ball off the mask with 2 outs in the game. Now Wainwright very early into this game will be checked up on as Yvette Tovar talks things over with her veteran catcher. The trainer will head onto the field. Wainwright has been kind of the mainstay behind the plate. There's a catcher in the bullpen getting loose with Jada Lewis. She'll be called over. Will we see Wainwright stay in this game, or will she be removed as she's talking to the trainer? But that will give the rest of the Lake Central players a chance to talk things over at the circle, Such and her infield group. And Sophia Beals playing first base, Tegan Tripp at third, Lexi Iwema at short, and Michaela Van Bossen at second. And Wainwright will stay in the game. The Lake Central fans give her a loud round of applause. So she's back behind the plate. Everybody goes back to their spots. The count is 1-2. Wainwright took a foul ball off the mask on that last pitch. Her counterpart, the Patriots catcher, Marcia Parker, bats here. She's behind in the count, 1-2. She lifts one foul, but playable. Wainwright has a beat on it, and she'll make the catch. A foul ball is caught by the Lake Central catcher. Wainwright makes the play there for out number 2. So after a lengthy delay in the game in which she was kind of the center of attention, maybe in an unwanted way, she then quickly makes the catch for the second out. Now Morgan Hoggett will bat here. The first baseman for Terre Haute North bats with 2 away and the base is empty. Such winds and fires, speeds a pitch in for a strike, a delayed signal from home plate umpire Daniel Escalante Jr., but I was ready for it there. It was, you could have called it from home. It was over the plate. Now the 0-1 pitch is high for a ball. We go even at 1-1. But when you have pitchers like Such or like Lewis that pitch for a high volume of strikeouts, it helps to also have strong defense behind them. As a excuse me swing from Hoggett makes it a 0-2 count. She tried to halt her momentum, but had already gone through it too far. A half-hearted swing. The count is 1-2. The next pitch is low for a ball, but to wrap up that thought, that smooth infield defense from Lake Central has helped ease things for the pitchers, knowing that they don't have to do it all by themselves. You have 4 college-bound infielders behind you. The 2-2, foul into the netting behind the backstop, but 4 infielders that are all committed to play at strong college programs. They have been sharp defensively, and it's been hard to reach base on a misplay by the infield because there haven't been too many of them by Lake Central this year. The count is even at 2-2 with 2 outs. The windup from Such, the breakthrough pitch, is a rise ball for strike 3. She freezes Hoggett to wrap up the top half of the second inning with a punch-out. It was a 1-2-3 inning with no base runners. We will head to the bottom of the inning. You're listening to coverage of the 2026 Class 4A Softball State Championship game presented by Enigenberg Exteriors on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
IBEW Local 697 isn't just wiring buildings. We're woven into the very fabric of Northwest Indiana. We're your neighbors. Our kids go to school with yours. We stand in the same bleachers cheering for the same high school teams. When you hire a union electrician, you're not just getting the highest quality work. You're supporting our community. IBEW Local 697, proudly powering our own.
Sometimes the hardest part of improving your business isn't coming up with a great idea. It's knowing what to do with it. Chester Inc. Architectural and Construction Services is ready to meet all your industrial and commercial construction needs. Whether it's a small build-out or a complete construction project, Chester will design, build, and finance. Our team eliminates multiple contractors, providing you a single point of contact while staying within your budget. Chester Inc. Architectural and Construction Services, turning your ideas into realities.
Welcome back as Enigenberg Exteriors presents coverage of the 2026 Class 4A Softball State Championship right here on the Region Sports Network. To keep up with all things Region Sports, be sure to check us out on our social media pages. We are always active on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X, and at our website at regionsports.com. Celebrating over 25 years, we are proud to still be the only game in town. Sophia Beals leads off the bottom of the second inning for Lake Central. Beals, playing first base today, bats .341. She is committed to play at Roosevelt University in Chicago next season as she waits for the first pitch from Lindley. The first pitch is a fastball for strike one. Beals, there's a good article about where she was the feature in the Post-Tribune talking about how she's always been a third baseman. That's what she plays at travel ball. Has played some second base this year, played outfield last year, and now plays first base, a position she hadn't played before. As she cracks the next pitch foul down the third base line. The count goes 0-2. But that mentality of doing whatever her team has needed her to do, playing so many different spots in the field, now earning a regular starting spot this year, and has been swinging a good bat this year, batting in the state championship game. The 0-2 pitch is high for a ball. The count is 1-2. But that willingness to pick up first base this season and really run with it has kept her in the lineup. She has 10 home runs. Waits for the 1-2 pitch. That's inside, and it hits her. It gets her as she was turning to get away from it, and it got her just above the shoulder. So she will make her way over to first base. She's aboard. That's one. It hurts, but you did your job. You made your way on base, and now Emma Wilkins will step up to bat with a friend at first base, and nobody out in the inning. Wilkins bats right-handed. She has a .316 average. Lindley looks to the plate, begins her windup. The 0-1 pitch is high. Beal steps out to the lead at first base, but the catcher, Parker, quickly throws over to get her back. She was able to step back with plenty of time, but certainly the catcher, Parker, letting her know she's thinking of her. As the leadoff runner reached, it was a leadoff home run in the first inning, and then the leadoff hit by pitch in the second. We'll see how Lindley locks down as Wilkins shows bunt, pokes it foul along the first base line. It lands out of play. That was in the air. Could have almost been a line out to first base where Hoggett was charging in to try to catch it on the fly, and it just gets away from her. The count is 1-1. So the right-handed batting Wilkins playing right field defensively today. She has 25 RBIs. The breakthrough pitch from Lindley is high for a ball. She's had good speed on that rise ball, but just hasn't. There's been a good approach at the plate by these Lake Central hitters to not try to chase it as it elevates. 2 balls and a strike in the count. The corner infielders playing in as the pitch to Wilkins is lifted, foul, but potentially playable for the catcher. No, it will land in the netted area above us for a foul ball. The count is now even at 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Wilkins. And what is a nice day with temperatures in the low 70s. The sun is starting to set. The lights beginning to take full effect over the field. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. A fastball, and Wilkins couldn't catch it. She swings through it. The second strikeout of the game for Lindley is the first out of the inning. And here's Caitlin Streiler, the DP, batting for Lake Central. Streiler, one of those players that was a regular starter at the beginning of the year. It was sidelined with an injury, but still was able to contribute in a little bit as a pinch runner, and now earns the starting nod in the state title game. And one of the seniors takes a first pitch strike from Lindley, but the senior class, it seems, Yvette Tovar, just hasn't run out of good things to say about them. Really just going on and on about them, singing their praises, what a coachable group this has been. And they are looking to wrap up their season with some hardware as Streiler fouls one off the netting. The count is 0-2. But this group, part of several strong regular seasons. They've had some postseason runs, but had a tough one in the last year in the sectional round against Crown Point, falling to a Bulldog team that would win the state title. The 0-2. Lofted towards shallow center field. The shortstop Ziegler backs up and makes the catch for the second out. So with the leadoff runner on, the next two batters have gone down in order. It'll be up to Piper Urbanski to try to prevent the leadoff runner going to waste here, as she will bat. Urbanski plays center field, bats ninth in the lineup. She's a left-handed batter. She works against the right-handed pitcher, Lindley. Here's her first pitch. Urbanski slaps it through the left side of the infield. It will land in left. So it's a two-out base knock for Urbanski. Beals moves from first to second. And now the top of the order is back up with 2 outs and 2 on. Urbanski with a quick swing going opposite field. Picks up her 31st hit of the season. Here's Michaela Van Vossen back up to bat. Van Vossen made her mark in the game with a big swing of the bat in the first inning with a solo home run. Now she bats with 2 outs and 2 on. The lefty waits for the first pitch from Lindley. This one is high for a ball. Beals shuffles out to a lead at second base. Urbanski steps out to one at first. They're trying to crank up the pressure here with Lindley looking to find a way to get the last out of the inning. Here's her 1-0 pitch. It's high for a ball to count quickly 2-0 to the patient batter Van Vossen. Van Vossen will be joining head coach Liz Balk-Jagowski in Lincoln Park next year with a DePaul Blue Demon program that's starting to really become a home for Northwest Indiana players. As the 2-0 pitch is outside, you have Jolie Adams, just transferred her way in from Auburn. She's a Lake Central grad, recorded the highest average by a Blue Demon player in the last 10 years. She plays in the outfield there. The 3-0 is called a strike to Van Vossen, so she'll be joining her former high school teammate there. One of her longtime rivals, Ashlyn Keita, the third baseman from Crown Point, is committed to play at DePaul. And then the Blue Demons shortstop, Maya Lindahl, is a Ileana Christian graduate. The 3-1 pitch is high for ball 4. Van Vossen doing what she has done extremely well for Lake Central, adds to her program-leading walk total with her 26th free pass of the season. She has loaded the bases. Beals was hit by a pitch to start things. Urbanski contributed a 2-out single, and then Van Vossen works a walk to load the bases. Here's Maddie Wainwright batting with a player wearing a royal blue jersey at every base. There are 2 outs in the inning. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Who will get the upper hand here? Will it be Lindley the pitcher or Wainwright the batter? The first pitch, Wainwright gets under it, skies it foul into the crowd, and it lands on the first base side in the bleachers. Full house here at Bittinger Stadium on a beautiful night for softball with the hills and the trees in the background. A cloudless sky at sunset here. The lights starting to really make everything look that much brighter. What a atmosphere here for the 4A state championship game. The 0-1 pitch to Wainwright is a fastball for strike 2. Now Wainwright finds herself down to her last strike, looking to make something happen here with the bases full. As both fan bases trying to cheer on their respective player. Lindley looks to her catcher, begins her windup to the plate. Wainwright pokes it towards left field, but the shortstop Ziegler races over and makes the catch to end the inning. The Indians load the bases but are unable to bring anyone home. And we will head to the third inning with the score Lake Central 1, Terre Haute North 0. You're listening to the coverage of the Class 4A Softball State Championship presented by Enigenberg Exteriors on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
You ready? Let's go! Yeah. For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, yo. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, 100% reason to remember the name.
Your future starts
here.
With offices in Munster and Cedar Lake, Ethos Dental Group offers a full scope of general and cosmetic dentistry with expertise ranging from porcelain veneers to dental implants, crowns, and bridges. At Ethos Dental Group, you're assured that Dr. Mark Stojkovic and his associates, Dr. Emily Hansen and Dr. Brian Douts, utilize the latest in technology. Check out ethosdentalgroup.com or call 219-595-3432 to schedule an appointment. Ethos Dental Group, dental care you can believe in.
Welcome back as Enigenberg Exteriors presents coverage of the 2026 Class 4A Softball State Championship game right here on the Region Sports Network. Top of the third inning, Lake Central leads 3-0. At the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll name the Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the game. Crowell Companies, proud to recognize the superheroes on the diamond, as it will be Kiana Gardner leading off for Terre Haute North. She was an all-conference selection for this group that won the Conference Indiana with a 5-0 record. The Lake Central Indians also won their conference, the Duneland Athletic Conference, with a 13-1 conference record. Several all-conference honorees for the Patriots and Indians as well. The 1-0, it's a bunt, but it's poked low for a foul ball. Low, it was on the third base side, foul, evens the count at 1-1. Also, many members on the all-state teams at each level. Lexi Iwema and Maddie Such were first-team all-state honorees for Lake Central. Maddie Wainwright was second-team, and then Tegan Tripp, second-team all-state as well. The 1-1 pitch from Such. Foul ball to the screen, makes it a 1-2 count. Jaylee Lindley was a third-team All-State honoree. Kenzie Ziegler, second-team All-State selection. And Kylie Walker, third-team All-State for Terre Haute North. The count is 1-2 to Gardner. She leads off the third inning. The Patriots able to work their way out of a bases-loaded jam in the last half inning, seeing if that could motivate them to some offense here in the third, as a fastball from Such was just outside, evens the count at 2-2. And many of the Lake Central fans hoping that was strike three, but we'll have to do another one here as the right-hander begins her windup towards the plate. This one curling towards left field, but Ramirez is there to make the catch for out number one. Gardner got it off just above the barrel, sent it to left field on a looping fly ball, but Ramirez had a good read on it, especially with the lights starting to shine here. That helped take away maybe some of the turbulence for Ramirez as she was able to get there and made the catch for the opening out. And now here's Gabby Racy batting out of the 9 spot for Terre Haute North. She's the left fielder, bats left-handed. She tries to line one up for a bunt, but it ricochets foul to the backstop. Almost that stepping into it and then extending the bat, trying to just make contact with it, but it breaks foul. Foul beyond the catcher, Wainwright. So 0-1 is the count. The next pitch from Such. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Good rise ball from the right-hander. She is ahead in this count. Such in the driver's seat in this at-bat. Can afford to waste a pitch or two here. The 0-2 is knocked foul towards the third base coach's box. And staying out of the way, that one was Chris Mundy, the 7th-year head coach from Terre Haute North. As Such requests a new softball at the circle, so she will be granted that. And Tegan Tripp, the third baseman, inspects it first before handing it to her pitcher. But now we are ready to resume play. 0-2 the count. 0-2 the count with one away, nobody on base. The windup and the delivery towards the upper portion of the zone. They appeal towards third base. They will say she did not go far enough on the check swing. So that's a ball, makes it a 1-2 count. 1-2 is the count here in the 4A state championship game. Such winds, goes to the plate. The 1-2 pitch. Correct foul on the third base side, out of play. Lake Central talked about all the big wins they had in the state tournament to get here. They also beat the 3A state champions, Hanover Central, back in April. That was in a 7-3 win on Senior Day for the Indians, and is part of a very competitive schedule they played, playing in the always challenging Duneland Athletic Conference and then facing some tough non-con opponents. You faced Hanover Central, a state champ now, and then many other tough teams. The 1-2 lined right back to the circle where Such makes the catch for the second out. Fielding her position for the second out. Such handles that line drive. Is about knee-high. She was able to make the catch for out number 2. The top of the order back up. It's Cambry Sparks batting here. But so many tough games throughout the schedule for Lake Central have certainly prepared them for moments like this. The first pitch is high for a ball. Here on the top of the third inning, LC leads 1-0. Had a chance to make it more in the second inning, but could not quite deliver with the bases loaded. The 1-0 pitch. Speeds in for a ball, actually. It was just outside at the outer corner. So 2-0 is the count. The windup from Such. And the pitch is over the plate for a strike. Fans and broadcasters alike waiting in anticipation for that delayed strike call. And there it was. 2 balls and a strike in the count. And that one will make it a 3-1 pitch as it was low in the dirt. Worth noting, too, play on so many more turf fields now throughout the Midwest that now playing the state championship on a dirt and grass field might take a couple innings to get adjusted to. The 3-1 is in the zone for a strike. Makes it a full count at 3-2. And playing on a dirt field after there was just a full game between Hanover Central and New Palestine, trying to deal with the conditions here. But the grounds crew did a tremendous job turning it around for the 4A game. Here's the payoff pitch. It's upstairs for ball 4, a 2-out walk for Sparks. The freshman in a high leverage situation earns her way on base in a state title game. Maddie Strange will bat here with 2 outs and a runner on. Their team trails by a run, but they have the potential tying run on base. Sparks over at first has scored 43 runs this season, helping lead the offense for Terre Haute North. The first pitch is high for a ball. So the count opens 1-0. The Lake Central team, they played in the state title game last in 2021. The 1-0 pitch. Jammed high, foul. curling into the right field bullpen. No, a nice catch made by a fan in the right field concourse, hanging over the fence near the bull. Oh, no, and now he tried to throw it back to the throw landed on the field. He was trying to get it to a player or somebody in the bullpen, and he missed the mark, and it goes into right field, so that will halt things here. But a catch made by a fan almost flipped into the bullpen on the right field side, but made the grab and just lost some style points there with a bad relay throw. Missed the cutoff player there. Well, the count is 1-1 after all that, after the foul ball. The breakthrough pitch, swing and a miss, strike two. Nice high fastball from the pitcher, such that the batter, Strange, couldn't quite climb the ladder with, so she's behind a ball and 2 strikes here. Wainwright, the catcher, makes the sign. Now the pitch is at the corner for strike 3. That will end the inning. The Patriots get a runner on base with a walk, but leave her stranded with the strikeout, the 4th of the game for Such. You're watching coverage of the 2026 Class 4A Softball Championship game presented by Enigenberg Exteriors on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com.
At Blyce, we're used to having the athlete shop at our store.
Down, sit, put.
But sometimes they get carried away. Blyce, this is where the athlete shops.
Welcome back as Enigenberg Exteriors presents coverage of the 2026 Class 4A Softball State Championship right here on the Region Sports Network. Lexi Iwema will lead off the bottom of the 3rd inning for Lake Central as they lead 1-0. At the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll name the Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game, brought to you by Boilermakers Local 374. Earn while you learn with Boilermakers Local 374. Lexi Iwema bats left-handed. She struck out in her first at-bat against Jaylee Lindley. The right-handed pitcher checks the armband for the sign, now goes towards the plate with her pitch. It's just outside. Iwema stays away from it. Something I was thinking about with the matchups of a state championship game as Lindley goes for the 1-0 pitch. After just the gauntlet that Lake Central had to go through to get here. You face Munster, you face Crown Point, you face a Penn team that they've seen a lot over the years. You face so many familiar opponents. The 2-0 is high for a ball. We go 3-0. You've faced pitchers like Paige Lazert a ton over the years. Or you've seen Jillian DeYoung from Hanover Central. You've seen Allie Cranston from Munster. So many of these top pitchers in the region, as the 3-0 pitch to Iwema is at the corner for a strike. We go 3-1. That you almost know what to expect from those pitchers. Even though they are so good, they are so dominant, you know the ways that they try to get you out. The 3-1, foul ball back to the screen. But when you make it to a state championship game, you're facing a team in Terre Haute North that you've likely never seen before. They have a tough pitcher, a highly touted pitcher as well that you haven't seen, so trying to scout her is probably much different than scouting some of these regular opponents you see year after year. The payoff pitch towards the plate, fouled away, sliced foul on the left field side by Iwema. It lands on top of the roof of one of those concourses. I believe that might be the locker room or whatnot, the batting cage maybe, down on the left field line, and then bounces away. But the count full at 3-2 is high for ball 4. Iwema works a walk in her second at bat. So that was a long-winded way of saying there's so much more scouting that goes into a state championship game like this to scout the pitcher, because you have no prior experience having faced Lindley. So now that you face her that second time through the lineup, that might help out. Here's Tegan Tripp batting with a runner on and nobody out. The first pitch is low. The catcher, Parker, looks Iwema back to the base at first. But you don't have much to work with against Lindley. Now that you're getting through that second time through the lineup, you saw her in live action. You saw her pitch mix and maybe where she likes to go in certain scenarios. Tripp bounces the 1-0 pitch foul just to the Lake Central dugouts. Hits the fence there, almost hit the batter on deck. That was Maddie Such. But Lindley, after allowing that leadoff home run, has been able to pitch her way out of a couple bumpy spots with a runner on second base in the first inning. That was Tripp. She hit a double, and then the bases loaded in the second inning. The 1-1 pitch. Tripp lines at the third base, but it squeaks out of the glove. Squeaks out of the glove of Walker. Everybody's safe on the play. Walker was getting ready to field that line drive right back at her. She extended the glove, or almost brought the glove in near her shoulder, and then made the catch initially, but was twisting away, and then the ball just falls out of the glove. That was a hard line drive. It is scored as an error. That puts Tripp on base, puts Iwema at second. A line drive to third base that was almost caught by Walker puts Tripp on base. There are runners at first and second. The batter is now the pitcher, Maddie Such. She flew out to first base to end the first inning. She's behind in this count, 0-1. Nobody out in the inning. She swings at the 0-1 pitch. It's foul and into the crowd, so she's now behind 0-2. But Such had RBI doubles in both games of the semi-state doubleheader that was played over the course of 3 days. Not exactly how they drew it up, but weather interfered on Saturday, so they had to complete the Penn game and then play the championship. The 0-2, laced through the middle of the infield. It drops in center field. Iwema's going for the plate. She will score, and the Indians add another. An RBI single from Maddie Such brings Iwema around to score. It moves Tripp over to second base. For Such, that's her 40th RBI of the season. It helps to be batting where she is in the lineup in the 5 spot when you have players like Wainwright or Iwema or Tripp that reach base so frequently. Likely, sometimes all you have to do is send one to the outfield grass and they will score. That was the case there, as a strong liner through the middle of the infield brings Iwema in from second base. We'll see a courtesy runner for the pitcher, Such, as I try to get a look at who that is. That will be Kenzie Johnson. Johnson, the runner now at first base, as Tripp is at second. And here's the batter, Sophia Beals.
Number 16, Kenzie Johnson. Now batting for the Indians, first baseman number 29.
Beals bats here. She was hit by a pitch to start the second inning, and now she will step in here in the third. The first pitch is a fastball for a strike. Beals behind in the count, 0-1. Looking to see what she can do here. She has 10 home runs on the season, a big power bat for the Indians. And the 0-1 pitch is inside and it hits her in the helmet. She was leaning to get under it, but that was a scary sight. Beals is hit by a pitch for the second time in this game, earning her trip aboard. But that is, you never want to see a player get hit near the helmet, but she is quickly making her way to first base, as I think we might see a pinch runner anyway, as Tripp goes to third, Johnson at second, and Now Beals will be replaced on the base paths by another pinch runner. That will be Ava Mish. Mish takes over at first. Or Ava Mush will take over at first base, and the batter here will be Emma Wilkins with the maximum on base and nobody out. What a scenario this is for Lake Central. They had the bases loaded in their last at-bats. Couldn't maximize that chance. They left the maximum on. Now with the bases full again, you don't often get gifted a spot with the bases loaded twice in a game. You cannot let this one go to waste. They lead 2-0. They have 1 run in the bank already this inning, but a spot to add a few more. So Mush is the runner at first base. Wilkins, who struck out in her first at-bat, will look to get some redemption here. She has 25 RBIs this year. She could increase that in a big way, batting with a friend at every base and nobody out. The first pitch from Lindley. Wilkins lifts it towards left field. This one's going back, and it leaves the park. A grand slam for Wilkins. Wilkins, with her 6th home run of the season, picked a great time for it. A grand slam in the state championship. She had the maximum on base, and now she empties the bases, sending one over the left field fence. What a swing from Wilkins. That is one she will never forget. A grand slam in the biggest game of the season makes it a 6-0 lead for Lake Central, and the hometown fans are loving it. Listen to this crowd. They are energized here. There is still nobody out in the 3rd inning, in which they have scored 5 runs. Certainly thinking of the St. John and Merrillville communities and everyone across the region who was affected by the severe weather the last couple nights, and certainly seeing the community come together in a big way tonight, celebrating with the Lake Central softball team leading here in the 3rd inning with a chance for more. The first swing from Streiler is cued towards second base. Scooping it up is Gardner. She throws over for out number 1. That was massive for the Patriots to get an out and stop the damage here with a ground ball to second base, handled by Gardner for the first out. Here's Piper Urbanski batting. Urbanski bats with the bases empty, nobody out, 5 runs in this inning. Urbanski with the infield in, steps into the first pitch, but it was outside for a ball. Makes the count 1-0. Urbanski singled in her last at-bat, eventually reached second, was part of that bases-loaded threat in the 2nd inning. But let's go back to that. The Indians had the bases loaded in the 2nd inning, did not score. Then you get that same scenario in the 3rd inning, and they weren't going to let that one go to waste a second time, as Emma Wilkins clobbers a grand slam over the left field fence to make it a 6-0 lead for Lake Central. The count is 1-1 to Urbanski. The next pitch is high for a ball. We go 2-1. 2 balls and a strike to Urbanski. Batting out of the 9 spot here, but she, not your traditional number 9 hitter. She reaches base a lot, has a good approach, helps set things up for the batters behind her, or at the top of the order, I should say, as in this deep Lake Central lineup. Players batting in the 7, 8, 9 spots could be at the top of the order of some other teams across the state, but Urbanski here ahead in the count, 3-1. The next pitch from Lindley. A bouncer towards second base. It squeaks through the legs of Gardner into left field, into right field. A misplay at second base puts Urbanski on, and the inning continues. Certainly some good fortune for Lake Central. Two ways you maybe don't anticipate. There have been 2 errors defensively and a hit by pitch. Some 3 plays that Terre Haute North certainly would want back have helped make things that much more turbulent in this inning. And now the top of the order back up to bat. It's Michaela Van Vossen, her 3rd trip up to the plate in this ball game. She has reached base twice with a home run and a walk. There's 1 out and a runner on first base. Van Vossen gets ready to work in the left-handed batter's box. The first pitch from Lindley. A fastball that just misses, makes it a 1-0 count. Van Vossen bats here with Lake Central leading 6-0 in the bottom of the 3rd inning. The 1-0 pitch to the plate. Upstairs we go 2-0. And now for Lindley, you just need to find a way to get strikes and try to generate some outs here. You can't get those runs back, but what you have to do now is just try to get your team's bats back up and see if they can string some runners on base. 2-0 is outside. We go. No! Delayed strike call. It was a strike. Makes it a 2-1 count. The home plate umpire's got me a couple times on that one. A very delayed strike call. Now the 2-1. Is high for a ball, makes it a 3-1 count. Van Vossen trying to see if she can record her 2nd walk of the game. On the 3-1 pitch, it is high for ball 4. Van Vossen walks, and the threat continues for the Indians. Urbanski moves to second base. Van Vossen is aboard. Her 2nd walk of the game. And now Maddie Wainwright bats with 2 on and 1 out. Wainwright, an uncharacteristic 0 for 2 today. I'm looking to see if she could break through here with Van Vossen and Urbanski aboard. The first pitch, Wainwright knocks it foul, bouncing along the 3rd base line into foul territory. So she falls behind 0-1 in the count. She had a fly out to first base in the opening inning and then a fly out to short in the 2nd inning. But has a chance to make things right in the 3rd inning with 2 on and 1 away. Wainwright, a Indiana University commit, bats here, works as the catcher for the Indians. She'll wait for the 0-1 from Lindley. Just gets it above the hands and lifts it foul into the netting above home plate. The count now a ball and 2 strikes. Wainwright batting now with 5 runs that have scored already. And her team leading by 6. The count is 0-2. Just 1 out in the inning. Lindley trying to work her way out of what's been a bumpy inning thus far. And the next pitch is high for a ball, makes it a 1-2 count. 1-2 is the count to the backstop Wainwright. In the last of the 3rd inning, the windup and the pitch from Lindley. Wainwright just a little ahead of it, turns on it and sends it into the building on the left field line. And there's a gutter or something in there because we saw the softball roll on the ceiling and then on the roof, and then it just goes and disappears. So the count now a ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2 delivery from Lindley is high for a ball. The catcher, Parker, tries to look both runners back to their bases as both are stepping out to some lengthy leads. That's Urbanski at second base and Van Vossen on first. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Wainwright sends it high in the air to left field, but playable for Racy. She will step over and makes the catch for out number 2. So the batter now is Oh, the batter that started this inning, it's Lexi Iwema. She walked to start the party for Lake Central. She walked and would later score on an RBI single from Maddie Such, and then it would be Tegan Tripp reaching on there. Such with a single. Sophia Beals was hit by a pitch. Emma Wilkins would get a grand slam, then a ground out to Streiler. Urbanski reached on an air. Van Vossen walked. Wainwright flew out, and now Iwema is back for a second trip to the plate in this inning, her third at-bat of the game. The first pitch is high for a ball, opens the count 1-0. Iwema, one of the top home run hitters in the state, has done her job with a walk and a run scored today. She goes with a big swing, but can't connect, evens the count at a ball and a strike. And that's the thing about this Lake Central team. You have Iwema, but then you have so many players behind her that are threats to hit home runs as well, with double-digit home runs. And that there are no easy outs in this lineup. The 1-1. Foul to the backstop, even makes it a 1-2 count. Iwema with her 17 home runs. There's Wainwright with 11. Tripp has 11. Beals has 10. Such has 7. You add 6 for Wilkins. Van Vossen with 6 as well. The 1-2 pitch. Iwema loops it towards left field. Going back is Racy. She'll make the catch near the foul line for out number 3. But it was a solid inning for Lake Central, scoring 5 runs, highlighted by Emma Wilkins' grand slam to put Lake Central ahead. They lead 6-0 after 3. You're listening to the coverage of the 2026 Class 4A Softball State Championship presented by Enigenberg Exteriors on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Located in the heart of downtown Indianapolis, the newly renovated Hampton Inn is within walking distance to over 30 restaurants and attractions, including Lucas Oilfield and Gamebridge Fieldhouse. Hampton Inn has much to offer, including a hot breakfast, high-speed internet access in every room, as well as a fitness center. Why wait? Make your reservations today. Call 317-261-1200 or make them on the web at hamptonin3.hilton.com. Hampton Inn, Indianapolis, downtown.
Looking to score great deals on sports and fitness gear? Shop local at Play It Again Sports Maryville. We have new and quality used equipment for baseball, softball, golf, hockey, fitness, and more. Plus, turn your old gear into cash on the spot or create your own discount with store credit for even better deals. Whether you're training, competing, or just getting started, your locally owned Play It Again Sports keeps you in the game.
You're welcome back as Enigenberg Exteriors presents coverage of the 2026 Class 4A Softball State Championship right here on the Region Sports Network. As Yvette Tovar and her team ahead 6-0. Yvette Tovar was a right fielder on Lake Central's 2002 state championship team, so a chance to coach her alma mater to a state title here would become the third coach in IHSAA history to win a state championship in both roles. The first is Beth Zachary of Penn to win a state title as a player and a coach. And then Sam Antkowitz, who did it earlier today for Hanover Central, so a chance to continue making history. So the Lake Central team returns 6 starters from last year's team. They were 27-4 a year ago. Now they are 30-2, as the count is 1-1 from Such to Ziegler. Indians won 17 games this year by the run rule. Certainly a tremendous regular season, and they've kept things rolling in the state tournament as the next pitch is low to make things 2-1. It's been quite some time. Go back to the early 2000s, the last state title for Lake Central, 2004. They have 3 in the trophy case, but looking to add some company as here's a fly ball, foul but playable. The second baseman Van Vossen will range over to make the catch for the opening out to Ziegler. And now it'll be Jaylee Lindley. She flew out to Iwema at shortstop to end the first inning. Lindley bats left-handed against her counterpart Such, a right-handed pitcher, who winds and goes to the plate. The first pitch is high for a ball. And for Maddie Such, you certainly think she has to appreciate what her offense did in the last half inning, generating 5 runs on just 2 hits as, the count 1-0, but in what was a tight 1-0 game, the Indian offense went to work and produced 5 more runs in their last at-bats and have added some separation. But against a very good Terre Haute North team, you can't take them lightly. Still with a ton of softball to be played here in the top of the 4th inning, trying to see if they can cook up a comeback. This is a Terre Haute North team that's won their last 26 games. Here's a bouncer to second base. Van Vossen is there, throws sidearm to first for out number 2. So Van Vossen has been right on the spot in this half inning. A fly out and a ground out have both gone her way, and she's handled both so far. For Terre Haute North, this is their 3rd state championship game appearance. The first pitch from Such is in for a strike. They were runners-up in 2010. Were also in the state title game in 1988, but trying to win for them what would be the school's first state title since 1974 when the baseball team won state. They also have a cross-country state title in the trophy case from 1973. As there's a foul ball over the media level as the count is 0-2. 0-2 from Such to Walker. Walker, last hope for Terre Haute North here in the 4th inning with 2 away. She swings over the 0-2 pitch for strike 3. That will end the top of the 4th. Such with a 1-2-3 inning. We will head to the bottom half with Lake Central leading 6-0. You're listening to coverage of the 2026 Class 4A Softball State Championship presented by Enigenberg Exteriors on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Calling all current and future homeowners in the Northwest Indiana area. Whether you're buying or selling, Brent Wright is here to make your real estate journey smooth and successful. With years of experience, personalized service, and a deep knowledge of the market, Brent will help you find the perfect place or get the best deal for your property. Call today at 219-406-7195 and take the first step toward your real estate goals. Contact Brent Wright, the right way to buy and sell real estate.
Some see a wrestling match. We see a 6-minute lesson in grit. Some see a coach sending a runner home. We see a mentor guiding a student athlete into the future. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Welcome back as Enigenberg Exteriors presents coverage of the 2026 Class 4A Softball State Championship right here on the Region Sports Network. At the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll name the Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game, presented by Boilermakers Local 374. Learn about apprenticeship programs and more at local374.org. Just past the halfway point, beginning the bottom of the 4th inning, it will be Tripp, Such, and Beals batting for Lake Central. Tegan Tripp will lead off the inning. She has reached base twice in this game with a double and reach on an error. She has scored 1 run. Tripp, a Virginia Tech recruit, bats here. Part of just a host of Division I bound players on this Lake Central team. But that's what Yvette Tovar was talking about with Mike Dewan on Media Day as Tripp plays one in the air to center field and over the wall. A solo home run for Tripp. Adds to the power surge for Lake Central, the 3rd long ball of the game, and it's a 7-0 lead. Tripp's 12th home run makes it a 7-0 lead. This one was sent dead to center field over the wall. It's 220 feet to center. This one carried over it. Tripp, that one traveled out of here in a hurry. As that kind of, to wrap up my thoughts, in Yvette Tovar's interview with Mike DeWan, talking about how these players that are committed to these high Division I programs play so selfless that they're not defined by the level they're going to play at, or they don't think they're above anything. They're willing to do whatever the team needs them to do to get wins. As here's Maddie Such, the pitcher, batting here with nobody on base, 1 run in already this inning. Her team leads 7-0. Such had an RBI single in her last at-bat. The first pitch was low for a ball, makes it a 1-0 count. Now she elevates the 1-0 pitch. Foul but playable for the catcher Parker. She's able to make the catch near the on-deck circle for out number 1. So that's a good bounce back out for Lindley to get after allowing the solo home run to Tripp, to quickly get an out to the next batter you face rather than letting things continue to build, as Sophia Beals will bat with 1 away and nobody on base. 1 run in already this inning. Beals has been hit by 2 pitches today in both of her at-bats, so she's reached twice, but maybe not the way you would like to, as she swings over a pitch that was low, falls behind 0-1 in the count. A home run by Tripp, the 3rd homer of the day for Lake Central. Van Vossen hit a solo blast to left field to open the scoring. Then Wilkins hit a grand slam in the 3rd inning to left field, and then Tripp goes to center to make it a 7-0 lead, as the count even at 1-1 to Beals. Beals, the right-handed batter, waits as Lindley collects the sign, begins her delivery towards the plate. Beals fouls one to the netting as the backstop. She's behind now. A ball and 2 strikes in the count. So 1-2 the count. We'll see if Beals can get defensive here, down to her last strike, and Lindley looking to lock in and try to get some outs with her offense, trying to find a way to solve Maddie Such, as they've been held to just 1 hit so far. The 1-2 pitch is high for a ball. We go 2-2. There have been just 2 base runners for Terre Haute North, and then you look at the contrasting box score for Lake Central. They have 6 hits and have seen 7 of the 9 batters in the lineup reach base, as Beals, a little bit early on this one, drives it high in the air on the left field side into the concourse. The count stays 1-2, but a balanced offensive output from Lake Central, and then a Terre Haute North team that's trying to find a way to get some work against a pitcher who has been dealing through 4 innings. 2-2 the count. The next pitch is high, and away we go full at 3-2. But what a day this has been for Lake Central at the plate. They've taken advantage of some miscues, certainly by the Terre Haute North defense, but that's what good lineups do, is make opponents pay when there are runners on base. The 2-2 is fouled to the screen. Actually, the count is 3-2, so that was a full count pitch that Beals fouled away. The count stays full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. The payoff pitch from Lindley is just high for ball 4. Beals is on base for the 3rd time in this game. She is the runner at first base, and here is Emma Wilkins returning to the batter's box. She had the biggest swing of the game in her last at-bat with a grand slam. And the Lake Central fans certainly remember that as they make some noise for Wilkins here. Wilkins, the right-handed batter, works against Lindley, who gets the sign from her catcher Parker. Now goes to the plate. Wilkins lines one to third base, where it is caught caught by Walker for out number 2. So a quick swing by Wilkins results in the second out. And here's Caitlin Streiler, the designated player today for LC. She is 0 for 2 on the outing, so she'll look to try to reach base for the first time in this game. The pitch from Lindley. Streiler drives it to center field, and a leaping catch is made by Strange. She had to jump up in the air, extended her glove, and made the grab. That one would have sailed to the wall if she didn't show off the vertical there to make the catch. A line out in center field ends the rally, but the Indians get 1 on a home run from Tripp. We are through 4 with Lake Central leading 7-0. You're watching coverage of the 2026 Class 4A Softball State Championship presented by Enigenberg Exteriors on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
With 40 years of experience serving Indiana, Illinois, and Tennessee, Enigenberg Exteriors has only had one goal in mind: to achieve excellent customer service. From commercial and residential roofing to siding, window, and door replacement, Enigenberg Exteriors delivers 110% customer satisfaction from the first hello to the final walkthrough. Visit enigenberg.com for more information, or give them a call at 219-365-2837. Enigenberg Exteriors, restoring hope one project at a time.
Get Pulse Technology on your team. Hit a home run with our managed print and copier services, IT and technology solutions, office furniture and design services, office supplies, scoreboards, and AV solutions.
Welcome back as Enigenberg Exteriors presents coverage of the 2026 Class 4A Softball State Championship right here on the Region Sports Network. Top of the 5th inning as the Terre Haute North Patriots will look to try to cook up a rally here. It'll be Parker, Hoggett, and Gardner. The batters due up here facing Such, trying to find a way to get runners on base. They have had just 2 base runners in this game, a single in the first inning and a walk in the third. It has been all Lake Central offensively here. 3 home runs, including a grand slam from Wilkins. The first pitch to Parker is high for a ball. Stay with us after the game, and we'll name the Proud to Be Union Play of the Game, presented by Ironworkers Local 395. Ironworkers Local. Go to ironworkers395.com to start your future as a union ironworker. Such winds and deals the 1-0 pitch. Swinging through it is Parker. She was over that pitch. It was one over the heart of the plate. The batter was a little bit above it with her swing, so it's a ball and a strike now. But the Patriots looking to find a way to get a rally as Such powers in a fastball for a strike. The count now 1-2. But a Terre Haute North team that has set win records for wins in a season with a 26-game win streak. That's a program record. Have been having a historic season, but find themselves trailing as the 1-2 pitch is inside and it hits Parker in the helmet. So she is hit by a pitch. She will reach base. It happened to Beals earlier. That's always scary when a player gets it at the helmet. That was just above the bill of the helmet, that just above the eyes, but Parker races down the first base line. She's okay. And that's a runner on base. There's a quick meeting at the circle between Wainwright, Such, and the rest of the infielders. Morgan Hoggett will bat for Terre Haute North now. So Hoggett bats with a runner at first and nobody out. First pitch from Such is high for a ball. So the count opens 1-0. Hoggett struck out looking in her first at-bat. That ended at the top of the second inning. So she'll look for a different result here, this time with a teammate on base. That's Parker. The windup and the pitch. The 1-0. High fastball. Can't get to it. swinging strike evens the count at 1-1. A ball and a strike to Hoggett, who's playing first base defensively. The breakthrough pitch. Speeds just outside for a ball. 2-1 to count now. Two balls and a strike to the left-handed batting Hoggett with nobody out in the inning. A good chance for the Patriots to try to work their way back as the next pitch outside for a ball. So the count is 3-1 as time is granted. Wainwright and the rest of the Lake Central players will have a meeting at the Circle to discuss the strategy here and try to find a way to maybe get back in this count. Wainwright returns to her spot, and the Terre Haute North fans making some noise as they're looking to help motivate their team to try to get back in this game. Here's the 3-1. A delayed strike two called. The count goes full. A full count to Hoggett, the sophomore first base. Now the payoff pitch. She drives it towards left field. Ramirez moves over and makes the catch. That's the first out. So the left-handed batter got it off the end of the bat, driving it opposite field. And Ramirez was there to make the play. Ramirez has been called upon a couple times defensively and had two catches in left field. Here is the second baseman, Kiana Gardner. Gardner was the all-conference selection from a Terre Haute North team. It was 5-0 in conference play. They beat the fifth-ranked team in the state, Center Grove, in semi-state to punch their ticket to this game. Gardner fouls it to the netting. Makes it an 0-1 count. So 0-1 is the count. Such has been solid so far. With 5 strikeouts, Gardner shows bunt, can't line it up. Wainwright fires down the first baseline. Beal scoops it up, but the tag is late. Getting back in time was Parker, the runner at first. So the Indians trying to throw out the runner at first. Couldn't quite get her. The count evened up at 1-1. As now Yvette Tovar will talk to the home plate umpire about something. They will look for an appeal to the umpire on the second base line. So we'll see what he saw, though. Now everybody's going to go in and talk. The umpire crew today, Daniel Escalante Jr. Behind the plate, calling balls and strikes. Cindy Bryce at first base and Ralph Hughes at third. And now everybody goes back. They will determine that the runner was in fact safe. Count is even at 1-1. Here's the breakthrough pitch from the right-hander Such. A swinging strike by the left-handed batter Gardner for strike 2. She was stepping into it, trying to hit it on the run, but couldn't quite catch it in time. So she's behind a ball and 2 strikes. Such deals to the plate. 1-2, foul backwards. But Gardner trying to stay alive here with a ball and 2 strikes in the count, looking to find a way to reach base. She's got Parker at first base. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Short fly ball to first base where Beals is there on the line to make the catch. She got it just above the hands, fisted it towards first, and it ran out of steam just in front of Beals, who made the easy catch for out number 2. 2 outs, and now Gabby Racy, the left fielder, bats for Terre Haute North. Racy, another freshman in the starting lineup. This is valuable experience for a freshman to be part of a team like this. She lines one down the third base line, but it curls foul into the corner. Racy just a tad early on that swing. Or tad behind, I should say. A left-handed batter playing it to left field. That means she was behind. But you have Racy and Sparks, two freshmen in the starting 9. An experience certainly you can't take for granted. There's no guarantee that you'll be back in a state championship or have a team like this, so you have to make the most of it in that moment. But this is certainly, playing in a game like this, on a team like this, something that makes you a better player as the years will go on. For Racy and Sparks, two freshmen, bookending the 1 through 9. She swings through the 0-1 pitch and is now behind 0-2. 0-2 with 2 away. The last chance for the Patriots here in the top of the 5th inning. They've made such have to work with a runner on first. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Just low for ball 1. She went high on the last pitch, then low on the next one, but a good take from Racy to avoid the strikeout there. Here's the 1-2. Bouncer back to the circle. Such gets the glove on it and throws to Beals at first for out number 3. The leadoff batter reaches on a hit by pitch, but then the next 3 go down in order. We're through 4.5. Lake Central leads 7-0. You're listening to coverage of the 2026 Class 4A Softball State Championship presented by Enigenberg Exteriors on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Strack & Van Til for the win with 4 ways to save. Catch price drops on over 15,000 items and check the weekly ad for can't miss deals. Stack on the rewards program for digital coupons, points toward discounts and free products, and power up with our own brands. Keep your budget in the safety zone. Get the same great taste as national labels at lower prices. If you can't taste the difference, why pay the difference? Score big value with 4 ways to save at Strack & Van Til.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Welcome back as Enigenberg Exteriors presents coverage of the 2026 Class 4A Softball State Championship right here on the Region Sports Network. Last of the 6th inning, Piper Urbanski will bat for LC. Urbanski will bat on the top of the orders. Back up, Urbanski followed by Van Vossen and Wainwright makes up the batters here in the last of the 5th inning. As Urbanski has reached base twice on a single and then on an error. She's been aboard both times. She's stepped up to bat against Lindley, who is still in the game. Lindley has been outstanding all year, has been roughed up for 7 runs in this game. Not all her doing, as a couple of those were unearned runs, but certainly a team like Lake Central that has faced some tough pitchers, whether that be Paige Lazert of Crown Point or Allie Compton of Munster, they have been able to find ways to get runs against Lindley. The count is 1-1 to Urbanski after she stayed away from that first pitch. She fouls the next one above the netting for a foul ball to make it a 1-1 count. But just going back to that theme of how many tough teams Lake Central faced in the regular season and the state tournament, whether that be Munster, Crown Point, Penn. The next pitch to Urbanski floats just outside, or inside for a ball. We go 2-1. You faced Hanover Central, the 3A state champions in the regular season. Marist out of Alsip, Illinois, a team that won 3rd place in the Illinois State Series. Just that has made them so ready for moments like this. They've played in so many games that have felt like playoff games with the magnitude of those spots, facing teams loaded with Division I bound players and making the most of it. 3-1 is the count to Urbanski. She takes the next pitch into center field for a base hit. So she's aboard to start the 5th inning. And now it will be Michaela Van Vossen batting with nobody out and a runner on base. For Urbanski, that's her time reaching base. So very productive out of that 9 spot. That's finding the right pieces in this puzzle, putting them in the right spots. That's why you like Urbanski batting 9th, because she can reach base. And it appears we will have a pitching change. The Patriots will shuffle things around, bring in a new arm into this game. So we'll get things sorted out. We'll take a quick break and tell you about the new reliever. When we return, you're watching Softball Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
Welcome back as Enigenberg Exteriors presents coverage of the 2026 Class 4A Softball State Championship on the Region Sports Network. So Lindley will move from the circle to third base, and the new pitcher in is an Enigenberg Exteriors home improvement hurler. That will be Kylie Walker. The stats on Walker this year: she is 8-0 in 12 appearances, a 289 earned run average over 43 2/3 innings pitched. She's allowed 45 hits, 28 runs, 18 of which were earned, 20 walks, and 28 strikeouts. You can't close the book on Lindley yet, as she's responsible for the runner at first base. But as of now, she has allowed 7 hits over 4 innings. Tally up the walks and strikeouts in a moment, as the 1-0 pitch to Van Vossen is low for a ball. But you bring Walker in to face the top of the order with a runner on base and 1 out. Just the strategy you have to go with here. I believe 2 strikeouts for Lindley. The walks and the hit by pitches certainly made things a little difficult, as time is called by Van Vossen. Four walks and 2 hit batters. That has certainly been something that the Indians took advantage of, is those extra base runners and then a couple of errors. Ended the day for Lindley at the circle, as Van Vossen lines one opposite field but foul into the left field bullpen, to the left field bullpen deep down the left field line. Van Vossen now with the count 2 balls and a strike, with nobody out, and Urbanski, the runner at first base. So let's see what Van Vossen can do here. She's reached base 3 times, a home run and 2 walks. The next pitch in the dirt, the throw down to first base. Urbanski gets back in plenty of time. The count now 3-1, but Walker, that's next best pitcher for Terre Haute North, trying to keep the damage where it is, with 7 runs in to score for Lake Central. They lead 7-0 here in the last of the 5th inning. Van Vossen waits for the 3-1 pitch from Walker. She skips it towards second base. Gardner recovers, throws to first just in time to beat Van Vossen. It was a foot race to first, but Gardner got the throw there with a moment to spare, a 4-3 ground out for out number 1. But advancing to second base was Urbanski. She moves the scoring position, and now Maddie Wainwright will bat. Wainwright bats with a runner at second and 1 away. Wainwright is 0 for 3 so far today, but trying to break through now in the 5th inning. As Walker, the second pitcher out of the gates for Terre Haute North, winds and fires her first pitch to the Lake Central catcher. She grounds one past third base into left field. Rounding third into score is Urbanski, and Wainwright contributes with an RBI single here in the fifth inning to make it an 8-0 lead for Lake Central. So a ground ball towards third base. It was a tricky play for Lindley to get to. She had to reach and try to pick it up. She just couldn't quite get there. It scoots past her deep into left field and then into foul territory near the corner, giving Urbanski plenty of time to turn the corner and score from second. For Wainwright, that's her 31st RBI of the season and her first hit of the game. The Lake Central fans making themselves heard as there will be a pinch courtesy runner for the catcher Wainwright. That'll be Addie Michelanis. Michelanis, a freshman, used as a pitcher and a pinch runner very often this season. She will take over at first base. She was the hero, working 5 solid innings in the sectional championship in the Circle. The pitcher of record in that game a couple weeks ago. What a game that was for Michelanis, kind of bursting onto the scene. 5 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. A gutsy performance by the freshman in a sectional championship game. We talked about it throughout the night, how it seems like every game this year, a different player stepped up for Lake Central. And they're in the driver's seat here, leading 8-0 as the first pitch to Iwema rolls in. Losing the grip on it was Walker. So it's a 1-0 count to Iwema, who walked and scored in the third inning and then struck out and flew out in her other 2 at-bats. Walker gets ready for the 1-0 pitch. Here it is. Iwema cracks it towards second base. Gardner with a diving stop throws to second for 1 out. They will get Michelanis. What a play by Gardner at second. Had to dive to get it with the glove, and then quickly had to recover, throw to second base to get the lead runner. She would. That was a solid defensive play. Great effort by Gardner. But it puts Iwema on base with 2 away. And the batter now, Tegan Tripp. She sent one over the fence in center field in her last plate appearance. Tripp has scored 2 runs, reached base 3 times. She bounces one on third base side, but out of play. Lindley was waiting back on it, and it broke foul. So 0-1 the count to Tripp. As Walker in search of one more out to get her team's bats up as they are looking for offense. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Tripp laces it into left field. It will roll to Racy, and it's a 2-out single for Tripp. Keeps the line moving. She's aboard for the 4th time in this game. Going to second base is Iwema.
The pitcher, number 13.
And now Maddie Such will bat. Such, the pitcher, has also had an RBI single in this game, and then 2 flyouts surround that single in the 3rd inning. But she's been solid on the mound, has contributed at the plate as well, as almost every batter has for Lake Central. The first pitch bounces its way in. Both runners are off to the races. They will both advance as it was in the dirt, and a good read by Tripp and Iwema both to steal their respective bases. Iwema steals third, and Tripp steals second. Indians now have 2 in scoring position, with 2 outs and Maddie Such at the plate. Such, a junior, committed to play at Kentucky. As time is called by the home plate umpire, talking things over with the Patriots catcher. Now she will go out to the circle to chat with her pitcher. As you hear the Lake Central fans in the background, they are energized here with their team leading in a state championship. And what do we have here? I think the trainer has been called over to third base to check out Lexi. We might think she has something in need of a bandage. So that is also cause for part of the timeout. So she will be attended to, and now she's back to the cushion at third. And now we're ready to resume play here. It's a 1-0 count to Such. There are 2 outs, runners at second and third. Lake Central has scored 1 run in this inning. They lead 8-0 here in the bottom of the 5th at Bittinger Stadium and at Purdue University. The 1-0 pitch is high for a ball. We go 2-0. What a great complex this is. A great venue for a state championship. Certainly that big game feel with the atmosphere in both games of the 3A and 4A championships. There is not an open seat in the house and plenty of fans along the grassy hill in the outfield. Just a perfect way to end the season. 2-0. Such grounds it foul near the Lake Central dugout. She's now makes the count 2 balls and a strike. But the busy week of sports coverage continues for us at the Region Sports Network. We'll be at the Steel Yard and at Schreiber Field in LaPorte for 2 different semi-state matchups tomorrow. As Such gets one off the end of the bat, sky high to second base. Calling for it is Gardner. She will make the catch to end the inning, but the Indians send a run in to extend their lead to 8. As we are through 5 innings, Lake Central leads over Terre Haute North 8-0. You're listening to coverage of the 2026 Class 4A Softball State Championship, presented by Enigenberg Exteriors on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craftworkers for Indiana Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I've received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craftworkers for Indiana Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
At American Testing Services, based in Hobart, Indiana, we specialize in NDT drone inspections and heat treatment services for local mills, fab shops, and facilities across the country. From Northwest Indiana to nationwide, we deliver precision, safety, and reliability. American Testing Services, America's trusted name in NDT.
You're watching RSN Game Day coverage of the 2026 Class 4A Softball State Championship, presented by Enigenberg Exteriors, your all-in-one roofing specialist. Visit ebergexteriors.com for a quote. As Such stays in to start the top of the 6th inning, the batters, it will be the top of the order: Sparks, Strange, and Ziegler. Cambry Sparks, the freshman outfielder, will bat here. Sparks playing right field today. Looking to make something happen here. She walked in her last at-bat. She fouls the first pitch just over the fists and plays it towards the concourse where it rattles around. So she's behind in the count, 0-1. She flew out to center to start the game. A Terre Haute North lineup that has just generated 1 hit, 1 walk, and 1 hit batter. They, quite simply put, with 6 outs remaining in their season, need base runners here if they want to pull off what would be a dramatic comeback down 8-0 against Lake Central, and a pitcher in Maddie Such who has been dealing. The 1-1 is low for a ball. It makes it 2-1. But for the Patriots, you have to think you need runs in this inning. You don't want to leave it all for the 7th. If you could get even just one or two here in the 6th, that could make things, it wouldn't be easy, but you're in a slightly better spot. We saw New Palestine ran out of time to cook up a rally in the 7th inning brought the game within 2, but just didn't have any more time as their spirited rally fell short in the 7th inning in the 3A title game. But Hanover was able to hang on and get the win. The count is 3-2 to Sparks. She pokes one foul, just swings on top of it, knocks it down to the dirt, and keeps the count going. It's full, 3 balls and 2 strikes, but with the top of the order up now, this is the part you want batting if you want to try to work your way back in this game, and certainly the Patriots do, but it's just been that much better of a day at the circle for Maddie Such and the defense behind her. The 3-2 is skied foul on top, just above our heads. You hear it rolling overhead. With the metal roof above us, you can hear where the softball is, and I think it was right on top of us, but the count stays full at 3-2. I was talking about it in the last half inning, but it will be a busy day. Lake Central baseball playing in a semi-state round tomorrow at the Steel Yard. Michael Brandner will have the call of that one. Then that'll be a quick turnaround for myself and Zach Zanelli. We'll be at LaPorte at Schreiber Field, where Andrean battles DeKalb in a semi-state semifinal as well. Here's the payoff pitch from Such. She swings through it for strike 3. In the first out of this inning, Wainwright lost control of it, but then threw over to first base to complete the strikeout. Such has been dealing. That is her 6th strikeout of the game. It is the first out of the 6th inning. Here's Maddie Strange batting. And Such speeds a fastball in for strike 1. Opens the count 0-1 to Strange, who is 0 for 2 today with a pair of strikeouts. The 0-1 pitch was just high for a ball, makes it a 1-1 count. Plenty of Lake Central fans sticking around, hanging out. You can feel the excitement in the crowd. For Terre Haute North, their fans haven't really vacated their seats yet either. It's still a full house as the count goes to 2-1. And that's just, you can never get tired of seeing fans enjoy themselves at a state championship. That is something that you can never take lightly. The 2-1 fouled to the screen, evens the count at 2-2, but so few athletes get the chance to play in a state title game, and it's a memorable experience the whole couple days leading up to it. The practice, just going through that routine, knowing that it will be the last game of your season or career in some cases. The 2-2 speeds just low for a ball, makes it a 3-2 count. So the count is full to Strange as the 3 balls, 2 strikes. The bases are empty. There's one away. The payoff pitch. She swings through it for strike 3. The 7th strikeout for Maddie Such. And there are now 2 away in the 6th inning. And the batter will be Kenzie Ziegler. Ziegler bats here with the bases empty, 2 away, trying to avoid striking out, which would allow Such to strike out the side. She has 7 Ks to her name in this game. She has been tough to bat against for these Patriot batters, as this one is fouled to the screen. The count opens 0-1. The last base runner was Marcia Parker. She was hit by a pitch to start the 5th inning. It's been 7 strikeouts, a lot of soft fly ball contact. The 0-1 pitch. Here's a hard liner to right field. This one will land just in front of Wilkins. It's a 2-out single for Ziegler. Her 2nd base hit of the game. She really got a hold of that one. Sent it for a ride to right field, and it lands just in front of Wilkins. And for Ziegler, she's responsible for both hits in this game for Terre Haute North. She has 2 singles, and now she's the runner at first base. And here's Jaylee Lindley. She was originally the starting pitcher for the Patriots. Now she plays third base. She'll look to try to get something going here with 2 away and a runner at first. 2 down, 1 on. It's an 8-0 game, Lake Central. 1 in the first, 5 in the third, 1 in the fourth, and 1 in the fifth. Lindley waits for the first pitch from Such. It's high for ball 1. Lindley 0 for 2 with a fly out and a ground out. She's ahead in this count, a ball and no strikes. Goes with a high pitch, high in the air towards the Patriot dugout. It lands on top of the dugout and bounces into the crowd, evening the count at 1-1. Lindley tried to climb the ladder with that rise ball from Such. Got a piece of it, but was early on the swing. Plays it out of play. Foul on the third base side. She bats left-handed. Or foul on the first base side, pardon me. It's been a long day as, still some time to play here. Top of the 6th inning. The 1-1 from Such. Cued towards second base. This rolls into the outfield. Another 2-out single. The line keeps moving for the Patriots. Back-to-back singles from Ziegler and Lindley. And now the batter will be Kylie Walker. Yvette Tovar heads out to the circle to talk to Such. Likely just to help settle things down with 2 outs in the 6th inning. I don't see her making a pitching change here. Likely just trying to help settle things down and find a way to get that last out, as the Indians are 4 outs away from a state championship. They were state champs in 1992, 2002, and 2004. Yvette Tovar was an outfielder on that 2002 squad. Could become the 3rd coach in state history to win a state title as both a player and a coach. The 2nd player to do that was earlier today, Hanover Central's Sam Antkowitz. As now Tovar goes back to the dugout. Everybody in the field goes back to their positions. And here we go. 2 outs, 2 on, top of the 6th inning. And the batter is Kylie Walker. The windup and the first pitch. Walker hammers it to left field, but a sliding catch is made by Ramirez. What a play by Callie Ramirez with a head-first slide to make the catch, braced for impact, and hung on, making a snow cone catch in left field for out number 3 to extinguish the Patriot rally. Nicely done by Ramirez. That will put an end to the top of the 6th inning. No runs for Terre Haute North. It's an 8-0 lead for Lake Central. You're watching coverage of the 2026 Class 4A Softball State Championship presented by Enigenberg Exteriors on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
IBEW Local 697 isn't just wiring buildings. We're woven into the very fabric of Northwest Indiana. We're your neighbors. Our kids go to school with yours. We stand in the same bleachers cheering for the same high school teams. When you hire a union electrician, you're not just getting the highest quality work. You're supporting our community. IBEW Local 697, proudly powering our own.
Sometimes the hardest part of improving your business isn't coming up with a great idea. It's knowing what to do with it. Chester Inc. Architectural and Construction Services is ready to meet all your industrial and commercial construction needs. Whether it's a small build-out or a complete construction project, Chester will design, build, and finance. Our team eliminates multiple contractors, providing you a single point of contact while staying within your budget. Chester Inc. Architectural and Construction Services, turning your ideas into realities.
Welcome back to Enigenberg Exteriors as they present coverage of the 2026 Class 4A Softball Championship right here on the Region Sports Network as we will begin the bottom of the 6th inning, the last at-bats potentially for Lake Central as Sophia Beals leads off. It'll be Beals followed by Wilkins and Strahler. Beals has reached base 3 times, has been hit by a pitch twice, and walked. The first pitch from Walker is low for a ball. Makes it a 1-0 count. But a productive day across the lineup for Lake Central, with 8 of the 9 batters reaching base. They have scored 8 runs, only had 1 scoreless inning. That was in the second. Their very first batter sent one out of the park, Michaela Van Vossen, with a solo home run to start the scoring. They really wouldn't look back from there. The count evens at a ball and a strike after Beals didn't go for that last pitch. She waits for the 1-1 from Walker. A big swing, but can't catch up to it. She's behind a ball and 2 strikes. Walker called in a relief role in the last inning, trying to just keep these Lake Central bats quiet and get her team back up, needing, well, with their season down to their last 3 outs. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It speeds low near the ankles, evens the count at 2. 2-2 is the count. Walker checks the armband for the sign from her catcher, Parker. The breakthrough pitch is low, rolls in, will go full at 3-2. So the count is now full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. We'll see what Beals can do here. The payoff pitch. Beals fouls it near the on-deck circle. Just getting on the way was Emma Wilkins. She's due up next. Wilkins and then Strahler will follow her as Lake Central trying to just hang on, avoid any slip-ups as they are 3 outs away from a state championship. And what a dominating game it has been for the squad from St. John, out hitting Terre Haute North 9-3 in this game. They've been clean defensively. Really just leading from start to finish here. Another foul ball by Beals. There have been just 4 base runners for the Patriots. And then for Lake Central, 8 of the 9 batters have reached base. It's been a busy day for the Lake Central offense, but those are the best type of days for a group. The 3-2 pitch is inside for ball 4. Beals is aboard for the 4th time on a close call. The Terre Haute North fans, well, if you can hear the reactions, are not thrilled with it. Beals picks up her 2nd walk, and now Emma Wilkins will bat. Wilkins, the hero of this game, one of the many heroes, with the grand slam in the 3rd inning. And what a swing that was by Wilkins. The first pitch is in for a strike. So Wilkins behind 0-1. Walker doing a good job with a fastball in the upper 3rd of the zone. She gets ready to deal the 0-1 pitch, checking the armband for the sign. And here we go. The 0-1 towards the plate. Wilkins thought about it. It was low. The count is even at 1-1. Lake Central really just does a good job with so many good takes at the plate. They avoid falling behind early in counts. They don't chase much. They're a tough team to pitch to as Wilkins calls time. Steps out of the box with the count even at 1-1. And we'll get ready to do it again here. 1-1. Wilkins takes it for a ride to left field, and it's just over the reach of Racy, rolling into the corner, allowing Beals to go from 1st to 3rd. It's a double for Wilkins. Her outstanding day continues. A grand slam and a double. She has been ready to swing here in the state championship. That might have actually been scored as an error. But either way, Beals is aboard. I believe that was scored as an error, so that's a tough break for Racy in left field, as it was just out of her reach. She backed up far enough to get to it, but then couldn't line it up for the catch. It was about shoulder height, and then it went over her shoulder to the wall. But here's Caitlin Streiler, the only Lake Central batter who hasn't reached base. She's been a player that they've been able to count on in a lot of different roles this season. Has been limited due to an injury, but has been given the full go to bat here in the state championship. She waits for the 1-0 pitch. It's low, makes it a 2-0 count. 2 balls, no strikes to Streiler. As this very excited Lake Central group has 2 runners on base, and they are 3 outs away from a state title. The pitch is inside to Streiler, makes it a 3-0 count. We'll see what Streiler, if she gets a pitch she likes, or if she will try to reach on a walk here. With the count 3-0, it's high for ball 4. Streiler walks, and with that walk, every batter in the Lake Central lineup has reached base. A total group effort for the Indians here. Now Streiler is aboard, and we will see Piper Urbanski batting. Urbanski, 2 singles and reached on an error.
Number 12.
She bats with the bases loaded. I think we will see, what are we going to see here? I believe a courtesy runner at first base. No, we will not. They looked to the dugout, and I don't think whoever the runner was supposed to be was ready. They keep Streiler in at first. Here is Piper Urbanski batting with the bases loaded and nobody out. The Patriots bring the infield in, looking to get the run at the plate. The first pitch is a fastball, makes it an 0-1 count. Certainly, I didn't think we'd be in this situation, but it's worth noting that the run rule does not come into effect in a state championship. We will play the full 7. The 0-1 is low for a ball, evens the count at 1-1. So a ball and a strike to Lake Central, leading 8-0 with the bases loaded. Urbanski plays it high in the air to left field, but the catch is made by Racy. Tagging and hustling to the plate is Beals. She will score. So it's an RBI for Urbanski, making it a 9-0 lead here in the 6th inning. Beals tagged and scored on the play. Staying put at second was Wilkins, and at first was Streiler. So a sac fly for Urbanski. Her first RBI of the game, her 12th of the season. Here's Michaela Van Vossen. Van Vossen's solo home runs started the scoring for Lake Central, and then she'd get some help from her friends behind her in the lineup, as now all 9 Lake Central players have reached base in this game. It's been a good day at the plate. The first pitch to Van Vossen is high for a ball. She had the home run and then has had 2 walks to follow that. So Van Vossen really working hard at the plate this evening. The count is 1-0 to the left-handed batting second baseman. And the 1-0, inside we go 2-0. But Van Vossen just part of this talented senior class and looking to try to complete their careers with a state championship ring. They are well on their way to doing so here. The 2-0 pitch. Van Vossen cues it to third base, where the catch is made by Lindley. She fielded her position well at the hot corner with a hard line drive. Nice catch by Lindley for out number 2. And now Maddie Wainwright will bat with 2 on and 2 out. 1 run has scored this inning. 1 in the first, 5 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, and 1 in the sixth has been the story so far for Lake Central. The first pitch to Wainwright is high for a ball. The count starts 1-0. Wainwright had an RBI single in her last at-bat. She's been a mainstay at catcher the last couple of seasons for this Lake Central team. The 0-1 pitch. She chops it foul to her team's dugout. A lot of players at the entrance of the dugout had to get out of the way of that one, as she's behind 0-2. She had talk about a game that felt like a state championship was that April game against Crown Point, going 11 innings. It was Wainwright who crushed a solo home run in the top of the 11th to give Lake Central the lead. I think that was kind of that game where you felt this team really had what it took to win a close playoff-like game, as the 0-2 pitch is inside, and what will we have here? It will be called a foul ball, saying they got it it hit the end of the bat. Wainwright, she's in some discomfort. I think that hit her in the hand, but that also maybe the end of the bat. The call made by the home plate umpire was it hit the bat first, and then also her hand. And will we see an appeal? I think the umpires will discuss this. Wainwright, you could see, is in some discomfort, getting hit at the hand, the fingers by the pitch. Will she stay at the plate? Will she go to first? They're going to talk about it. But for Walker and the rest of the Patriots defensively, they're trying to just find a way to get an out here and get their bats back up. What was the... I don't see a signal. They're going to say it's a foul ball. A foul ball that hit Wainwright's bat and her hand. So she has to stay in the batter's box to see if she can reach base in a different way. To the count. Walker leans forward, waits for the sign from Parker. Her windup. Swing and a miss, strike three. Wainwright goes down swinging. That will end the sixth inning. Lake Central will take the field, 3 outs separating them from a state championship. Stick around. You're listening to coverage of the 2026 Class 4A Softball State Championship game presented by Enigenberg Exteriors on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
You ready? Let's go! Yeah. For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, yo. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name.
Your future starts
here.
With offices in Munster and Cedar Lake, Ethos Dental Group offers a full scope of general and cosmetic dentistry with expertise ranging from porcelain veneers to dental implants, crowns, and bridges. At Ethos Dental Group, you're assured that Dr. Mark Stojkovic and his associates, Dr. Emily Hansen and Dr. Brian Douts, utilize the latest in technology. Check out ethosdentalgroup.com or call 219-595-3432 to schedule an appointment. Ethos Dental Group, dental care you can believe in.
Welcome back as Enigenberg Exteriors presents coverage of the 2026 Class 4A Softball State Championship right here on the Region Sports Network. The Lake Central Indians take the field defensively with an 8-0 lead here in the top of the 7th inning. They are 3 outs away from what would be their 4th state championship in program history. Their first since 2002. They still have to take care of business here. Maddie Such remains in the circle. The batters she will be facing are Parker, Hoggett, and Gardner. They will try to see if they can make what would be a miraculous comeback against a tough pitcher in Such, and needing 8 runs to tie, 9 to take the lead. It's a tall task. We'll see if they can get trending in the right direction as waiting for the all clear to start things in the 7th at Bittinger Stadium. And what's been a great day of softball, especially for the 2 region teams. Hanover Central defeating New Palestine to win the 3A title, and now Lake Central ahead over Terre Haute North in the 4A game. Such muscles a fastball to the plate A swinging strike from Parker. She's behind 0-1. Parker flew out to the catcher in the second inning and was hit by a pitch in the fifth. Waits for the 0-1 pitch. She skips it towards shortstop. Iwema gobbles it up, throws to first. That's one out. 6-3 ground out Iwema to Beals. Iwema did a good job waiting for it on 3 bounces and throwing a lower throw, but Beals was able to dig it up and avoided any trouble at first base. Now Morgan Hoggett will bat. The left-handed batter works with the bases empty and 1 away. 2 outs remaining for Terre Haute North as they are seeing their hopes start to run thin. The first pitch is called a strike. A strike to Hoggett. She is 0 for 2 today. A strikeout and a flyout. The next pitch from Such is high for a ball, makes it a 1-1 count. Lake Central lost their last game of the their last 2 games of the regular season after they won their first 25, but they've won 5 when it mattered in the state tournaments, looking to make it 6 in a row and wrap things up with a state championship. The count is 1-2 after a foul ball high off the netting behind home plate. Those 2 losses to wrap up the regular season seem to have energized this team, maybe taking some of that pressure off of an unbeaten season and taking them back to the basics of playing 1 game at a time. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Driven high to left field, going to the wall, and it lands between the outfielders, rolls to the track, going to second and not stopping there is the runner. She makes it to third base. A stand-up triple for Hoggett gets the Terre Haute North fans excited here. With 1 away in the 7th inning, she is 60 feet away from scoring. That triple was crushed, landing between Urbanski and Ramirez and making its way into the gap. A stand-up triple for Hoggett has brought some life to the Terre Haute North fans. The Patriots, just in their 3rd state title game appearance, the last was in 2010. They have never won a state championship. They're, trying to finish strong here, down big in this one. Down 9-0. Parker jams one to shortstop. Iwema loses it. Racing to the plate is Hoggett. She slides in. And the Patriots are on the board. It's a 9-1 game. Gardner sent one to Iwema, who had a little difficulty handling it. That was enough to send Hoggett across the plate. And now Terre Haute North is on the board with Gabby Racy at the plate. There's 1 out, a runner at first. It's a 9-1 lead for Lake Central. One in the first, 5 in the third. 1 each in the 4th, 5th, and 6th, and now Terre Haute North has contributed 1 in the 7th. A shallow ground ball that lands in no man's land. It's an infield single, just a slapper that went between the pitcher and first base by Racy. She's aboard, and the Patriots aren't giving up in this game. And there will be a meeting at the circle for Lake Central. Racy just batted one down. It was a slow roller. Such couldn't get to it. Beals was trying to cover first. She didn't have a path to it. So an infield single. An infield single for Racy brings the top of the order up with 2 runners on and 1 away. Here is Cambry Sparks looking to see if she can help her team go on an improbable comeback. Down 9-1 in the top of the 7th inning. But certainly one thing is for sure, these Terre Haute North players are not giving up. They have kept these competitive at-bats going. The first pitch to Sparks is high for a ball. Sparks walked in the third inning. She also has a flyout and a strikeout. The 1-0 pitch. A throw down to second base, but getting back in time is Gardner. And the pitch was called a strike, so the count is 1-1. There are runners at first and second. Sparks, the top of the order up for Terre Haute North. Waits for the 1-1. There's a fastball over the plate for strike two. The count now 1-2. So Sparks down to her last strike, trying to keep this rally going. On the 1-2 delivery. She sends it for a ride to center field. It lands in front of Urbanski. Everybody will move up one station, and the bases are loaded with one out. It's a single for Sparks. She's on base for the second time today, and this Terre Haute North group refusing to give up. They have loaded the bases with one out. They are down by 8. And here is Maddie Strange. She's 0 for 3 on the day, but trying to break through in a big way, with her team needing lots of offense here. Strange struck out looking in the first and third, and then struck out swinging in the 6th.
Center fielder number 3, Maddie Strange.
Maddie Such still in the circle for Lake Central. She has 7 strikeouts. She'll wind and fire the first pitch. A swinging strike starts the count 0-1. A triple by Hoggett. Gardner reached on air, brought in a run. An infield single for Racy, and then a single for Sparks. A fly ball to center field, and a catch made by Urbanski deep in center for one out, and then they catch a runner in a rundown. Caught in a pickle, and then Tripp applies a tag. It's an 8-5 double play to conclude the state championship. Lake Central has done it. They go wire to wire to win the 4A state championship, defeating Terre Haute North 9-1, the 4th state title in program history for Lake Central. And what a way to wrap it up in front of a packed house at Bittinger Stadium. A fly out to center field, and then Tripp guns out a runner.
9, Terre Haute North 2.
An 8-5 double play to end it. Catching a runner in a run down, trying to advance. And that's how this one will end. An unconventional final out, but nonetheless, the Indians will take it as it makes them state champions for the 4th time in program history and the first since 2004. Lake Central, the top-ranked team in the 4A coaches poll, does their job. They went wire to wire, a 25-game win streak in the regular season, and then win 6 more in the state tournament to end it with the championship trophy, a 9-1 win for Yvette Tovar's crew. They finished the year 31-2, while Terre Haute North falls to 30-2. It was a historic year for the Patriots, but they fall short. And for the Indians, it was a dominant year for them, winning the state championship by a score of 9-2. So a run did score, actually, on that play. It will get it all sorted out at some point. So Gardner scored. It's a 9-2 final, just for if you're keeping score at home. A 9-2 final. A run did cross before that wacky double play, as we will see the trophies and medals presented at the plate. But what a strange double play, too, to end the game. An 8-5 twin killing to win a state championship, just like they drew it up.
Insurance agent from Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance to assist with the presentation of the Mental Attitude Award for Class 4A
but
softball.
we will see the Mental Attitude Award be presented. Find out the winner for that one.
Award. The IHSA Executive Committee will award a $1,000 scholarship to the winner's school. Please join us in thanking Indiana Farm Bureau for their generous support of student athletes and high school athletics in our state. After we announce the name of the recipient, we invite her parents to join her on the field. The recipient of this award was selected by the IHSA Executive Committee. The student was nominated by her principal, athletic director, and coach, and excelled in mental attitude, athletic abilities, scholarship, and leadership. The winner of the 2026 Mental Attitude Award for Class 4A softball is Maddie Strange, Terre Haute North High School.
So there's Maddie Strange being presented the Mental Attitude Award as Lake Central about to be recognized on the field. 2026 Class 4A state champions. They wrap things up here in West Lafayette with a dominating 9-2 win over Terre Haute North. 1 run in the first, 5 in the third, solo tallies in the 4th, 5th, and 6th inning. The Patriots would rally for 2 runs in the 7th, but that would not be enough as Lake Central hangs on to get the win 9-2. Really, just from the first batter of the day, Michaela Van Vossen, being able to club one over the fence, you knew it was going to be a good day at the plate for Lake Central. Emma Wilkins would add a grand slam. Tegan Tripp hit a home run. Just what a way for this Lake Central team that has made some deep postseason runs in recent years, but unable to maybe get over that final hurdle. Finally does so here. They
Assisting with the award ceremony for tonight, our student advisory committee members
fell in the sectional championship last year. They fell in the regional championship in 2023 and 24, but now finally making their way past semi-state and to state. It was really an outstanding year for Lake Central, getting the win as the Terre Haute North players are being presented with their medals. So we'll listen in on some of that.
Maddie Strange, Gabby Racy, Hayden Conder, Kylie Walker, Brenna Shorter, Cameron Sparks, Abby Hayden, Morgan Haga, Leah Oklovich, Kenzie Ziegler, Amelia Kelly, Kayana Gardner, Aniston Chester, Jaylee Lindley, Nora Burnett, Assistant Coach Casey Potts, Assistant Coach Tony McCarter, Assistant Coach Jack Kirchner, Assistant Coach Doug Cooper, Head Coach Chris Mundy, Team Manager Jerry Judson, Athletic Trainer Greg McDonald, Assistant Athletic Director Justin Hall, Superintendent Chris Hemsel, Assistant Principal Ashley Luca, Assistant Principal Aaron Hughes, Principal Scott Moore, and Athletic Director Chris Painter.
So there were the medals for Terre Haute North as they wrap up their season with a record of 30-2. They will be handed their state runners-up trophy. And we're just moments away from Lake Central being presented their medals and trophy here at Bittinger Stadium. Terre Haute North gets to
Central with medals. Our executive committee members Stacy Adams
celebrate with their trophy,
and Tim Grove of Linton Stockton.
Now the Lake Central players and coaches will be presented their medals and trophy.
Colby Tressel, Piper Urbensky, Madison Suggs, Alexa Iwima, McKenna Fazio, Kenzie Johnson, Michaela Van Vossen, Ava Mudge, Kelly Ramirez, Madison Wainwright, Sophia Simboa, Emma Wilkins, Addison Michaelias, Caitlin Stryler, Sophia Beals, Jada Lewis, Ava DeNormandy, Manager Nick Rossi, Manager Brendan Huppenthal, Assistant Coach Selena Mitchko, Assistant Coach Haley Beagle, Assistant Coach Ashley Costoner, Assistant Coach Caitlin Barajas, Assistant Coach Mike Wilkins, Head Coach Yvette Tovar, Athletic Trainers Sophia Palawas, Assistant Athletic Director Jeff Sander, Principal Aaron Novak, and Athletic Director Chris Enyard. And now presenting Lake Central with their trophy and ball is Executive Committee member Brian Strong of Logan Sport High School. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2026 Class 4A Softball State Champions, the Lake Central Indians.
Lake Central presented their state championship trophy. They mob around it on the third baseline, lifting it high in the air. What a feeling that must be to bring that trophy back to St. John to end a lengthy, 22-year state championship drought. And what a dominating season this has been for the Lake Central Indian softball program.
In Boswell, Indiana.
As
drinking the bottle of milk on behalf of Lake Central is senior Tegan Tripp.
Tegan Tripp presented the player of the game accolade on the field, and as the Indians celebrate with their state championship trophy, we will get ready to hand out some hardware of our own. Starting with the, well, as soon as I get the read ready, it's time to name the Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game. Crowell Companies, proud to recognize the superheroes on the diamond. We will go with the starting pitcher, the winning pitcher from Lake Central, Maddie Such, able to deliver 7 strikeouts, getting the win for her team, the 17th win of the season for Such, and perhaps the biggest of the season here at Bittinger Stadium, as her team is on the field celebrating with the state championship trophy. She was outstanding this evening, throwing 6 scoreless innings, allowing just those 2 runs in the 7th inning. So she picks up the player of the game honors and will keep things moving along as it's time to name the blue-collar player of the game. Brought to you by Boilermakers Local 374. Boilermakers Local 374. Earn while you learn with Boilermakers Local 374. We'll give the blue-collar honors to Tegan Tripp from Lake Central. She had a home run, 2 runs scored in total, a double and a single, and she was able to handle things, making that last out on a unconventional double play to win the state championship. So she picks up the blue-collar honors in this one. And it's time to name the proud-to-be Union play of the game, presented by Ironworkers Local 395. To find out how you can become a Union Ironworker, visit ironworkers395.com. And tonight's Ironworkers 395 play of the game was, we will wind it back to the 3rd inning when Emma Wilkins clobbered a grand slam to really help make this a lopsided game for Lake Central. A grand slam for Wilkins, her 6th home run of the season. But the biggest one, with the biggest swing of the day, came today at West Lafayette, a grand slam for Wilkins. That was tonight's Ironworkers 395 play of the game, presented by Ironworkers Local 395, Union Strong. Time to thank everyone involved with this evening's broadcast, to our management team at the Region Sports Network, from executive producer Chris Ramirez, Rich Castillo, Zach Miller, and Mike Dewan, our sports director, to my producer Zach Sinelli, doing a great job running things for both games today without any issues at all. Zach did a tremendous job this evening. To our coaches from each side, Chris Mundy of Terre Haute North and Yvette Tovar from Lake Central. The athletic directors, Chris Painter from Terre Haute and Chris Yenyert from Lake Central. And to Jason Weil from our host site here from the IHSAA, and to the viewers across all of our platforms at theregionsports.com, YouTube/Region Sports, Facebook/Region Sports Nation. This is Leo Staudaher thanking you for watching Softball Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.